Chapter 458. Hee, that was an emergency and I didn't have time to think about it. Sigh, forget it, let's not talk about me. You should tell me about the training field that just opened. Hearing Little Dragon's words, Lin Rei's face turned red. He was a little embarrassed and quickly changed the topic. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Little Dragon stopped talking nonsense and began to talk about the spirit gathering formation in the training field. The first level of the martial arts practice field is just like what you've heard. It's a huge energy gathering array. But don't compare the energy gathering array in the martial arts practice field with the energy gathering array you've learned. What? Hearing Little Dragon's words, Lin Rei was a little confused. He didn't understand Little Dragon's meaning and couldn't help but ask. What's the difference? Aren't they both spirit gathering formations? Why? Did this spirit gathering formation grow legs or something? Hee, calling you a country bumpkin is not wrong at all. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Little Dragon's face was full of wry and helplessness. This spirit gathering formation doesn't absorb ordinary spiritual energy. It absorbs chaos chi. This kind of spiritual energy is very grateful. So, you've picked up a treasure this time, you know? At this point, Little Dragon's face was full of smiles, as if this training field was very impressive. However, he knew quite a lot about the chaos chi that Little Dragon mentioned. Chaos chi, isn't it the spiritual energy at the beginning of the world? But why would this kind of spiritual energy appear in the system? Moreover, how can I absorb this kind of spiritual energy at my current level? You're not that stupid, kid. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Little Dragon hurriedly said, however, if you were an ordinary person, you would only explode and die from the chaos chi. But when you were in the foundation establishment stage, you already used the chaos chi to condense your sea of chi. So, there's no problem for you to absorb the chaos chi. Moreover, don't you have the devouring heaven art? You can use the devouring heaven art to convert it into immortal spiritual energy. If I had known earlier, the amount of immortal chi converted from a strand of primal chaos chi would be enormous. At that time, your cultivation speed would be greatly increased. The more Lin Rei listened to the Little Dragon's words, the more excited he became. The thought of being able to absorb the chaos energy and quickly raise his cultivation base made him so excited that he wanted to start cultivating immediately. Alright, you should cultivate later. The system has just activated the martial arts practice field, so there's no rush to cultivate. The most important thing for you now is to take care of yourself. This time, you should understand that your cultivation base has skyrocketed. Therefore, you must not use any cultivation base in the following period of time. Only in this way can the evil chi be completely suppressed. Otherwise, you can only end up as a killing tool controlled by the evil chi, a body without any thoughts. Alright, I got it. Lin Rei nodded and agreed to the Little Dragon's request. At this moment, Lin Rei was really afraid. If it was really like what the Little Dragon said, he would rather die than become a killing tool without any thoughts of his own. Cold sweat overflowed and his clothes were drenched in cold sweat. The fear in his heart grew stronger and stronger. Now you know how to be afraid. Then why didn't you listen to what I said before? Although it had grown up, at this moment, the Little Dragon pouted and rolled its eyes at Lin Rei cutely as it complained non-stop. Its personality was still the same as before. When it came to reprimanding someone, it was not ambiguous at all. As time passed, Lin Rei, under the Little Dragon's earnest teachings, said that half a day had passed. Regarding this, Lin Rei was not happy at all. Instead, he took great pleasure in remembering the whole process in his heart. Alright, that's all for today. I've just stabilized my body and won't wake up for the next few years. If I didn't tell you that I'm safe this time, I would have already entered a deep sleep. As it spoke, the Little Dragon's body dimmed and it looked like it was sleeping weakly. Suddenly, Lin Rei's heart tightened and he hurriedly said with concern, Alright, you should go quickly. I don't have anything to do during this period. Besides, you have a wife at the celestial master level to take care of you. You can rest assured and sleep. I hope that when you wake up, you can stabilize your current state. Also, Linley said with a teasing look in his eyes, you look quite handsome right now. If you can really condense a physical body, I'll definitely help you find a beautiful girl. Then, Lin Ray laughed loudly and left the system, returning to his body. Oh, little brat, how dare you tease me? You really have no respect for your elders. Looking at the disappearing Lin Ray, the little dragon couldn't stop laughing and scolding. Then, with a serious expression, it disappeared from the system and entered a deep sleep. Ah! At this moment, under a big tree next to the spiritual field behind the mountain of Heavenly Fortune Village, Lin Ray couldn't help but laugh the moment he left the system. The smile on his face couldn't help but give off an amiable feeling. If his enemies saw this, they would definitely think that there was something wrong with their eyes. Forget it, let's not think about it anymore. I'll wait for the little dragon to wake up before going to the training field to cultivate. During this period of time, it's more important to hurry up and complete the mission. With that, Lin Ray prepared to stand up. Suddenly, a terrifying pressure came from the horizon. The pressure of heaven and earth, feeling the abnormality of the pressure, Lin Ray raised his head and looked in the direction of the pressure. Instantly, Lin Ray smiled. Looks like Yun is starting to break through. This was the only thing Lin Ray could think of because Lu Ying had said that Lin Yun would break through in one day. Now that the tribulation clouds had appeared above Heavenly Fortune Village, Lin Ray really couldn't think of anyone else other than Lin Yun. He stood up and teleported, instantly arriving at the entrance of the Lin family in Heavenly Fortune Village. At this moment, Lu Ying and Long Ji were already standing at the entrance, looking up at the sky. However, the difference was that Lu Ying didn't look worried at all while Long Ji looked extremely worried. The moment Lin Ray appeared, the two of them turned to look at him. Husband, Yun hearing his newlywed wife's words, Lin Ray didn't wait for her to finish speaking before he said, I know about Yun's situation. You can go back first. With that, Lin Ray walked over to Lu Ying's side and pulled him into his arms. He walked step by step into the room, placed him on the bed, and covered him with a blanket. He then spoke gently, Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this matter. You worked hard last night. Leave the rest to me. The moment he said this, Lu Ying, who was lying on the bed calmly, suddenly blushed when he heard what her husband said. He hurriedly covered his blushing face with the blanket. Seeing such an adorable wife, Lin Ray felt very satisfied. He then smiled and walked out of the room. When he reached the door, he looked up at the sky and observed his son's situation. In the room, the moment Lin Ray walked out, Lu Ying crawled out from under the blanket and followed Lin Ray's instructions. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. Boom, kacha, dark clouds loomed over the city, threatening to destroy it. At this moment, the rumbling of thunder was deafening. Not only Lin Ray, but everyone in Heavenly Fortune Village also sensed the strange phenomenon and walked out of their rooms one by one. Wah, uncle, look, there's a person in the sky. Shoo, don't talk. That's an immortal. An immortal is going through the tribulation clouds. It's not hard for us to disturb him. That's right, at this moment, everyone in the village was looking at everything with admiration. They had always respected cultivators. As members of the immortal world, they all knew the law of the jungle, survival of the fittest, and the law of the jungle. Therefore, when they saw the cultivator going through the tribulation clouds in the sky, they couldn't help but feel reverence in their hearts. Boom. Boom. Kacha. While everyone was worshipping Lin Yun, a bolt of lightning seemed to break through its shackles as it charged towards Lin Yun, who was standing under the clouds. At this moment, everyone's hearts were in their throats. Everyone was very nervous. Only Lin Yun's father, Lin Ray, seemed to have nothing to do with Lin Yun, who was going through the tribulation clouds. He wasn't nervous at all. Instead, he had a smile on his face. The bolt of lightning that broke through the clouds followed the momentum and aimed at Lin Yun. It carried a majestic pressure and an aura that could destroy the world as it rushed towards Lin Yun. Humph, come on. Let me see what you're capable of. Looking at the fleeting tribulation clouds, Lin Yun didn't have a trace of fear. Instead, he faced it with a smile. The martial emperor divine spear in his hand seemed to have sensed the provocation from the tribulation clouds. Immediately, the sound of the spear rang out and a cold light shone out. Huh, are you waiting for too long? But it doesn't matter. In a while, we'll pierce through the clouds and let him know that you're not someone he can afford to offend. At this moment, if Lin Rei heard what he said, he believed that Lin Rei would be dumbfounded instead of gratified. After all, even when he was young and frivolous, he didn't dare to say such arrogant words. Silent Thunder Spear Art, first move, Plunder. Seeing that the tribulation clouds were getting closer and closer to him, the martial emperor divine spear in Lin Yun's hand suddenly moved. A terrifying bolt of lightning shot out from the martial emperor divine spear, and a shocking long spear rushed towards the bolt of lightning falling from the clouds. The two attacks formed a pressure that was evenly matched. It seemed that no one was willing to give in to the other. Just at this moment, the two attacks collided. Boom! An earth-shattering sound came from the sky, and the aftermath of the energy rushed out in an instant. Lin Yun, who was not far away, was caught off guard by the aftermath of the collision. He was sent 100 meters away by the aftermath before he could stop with difficulty. Ha! Ha, I didn't expect the aftermath to be so sad. At this moment, Lin Yun, who was sent 100 meters away by the aftermath, was shocked and shocked. He didn't expect this situation at all. Although he was shocked, he was more excited and had a soaring fighting spirit. Lin Yun was very excited about such an attack. Come on, let me see what you're capable of. Let's see if your attack or my martial technique is more powerful. Chapter 459. Whoosh. Holding the martial emperor divine spear in his hand, the arrogant Lin Yun dashed into the thunderclouds regardless of the consequences. Lin Li, who was looking up at Lin Yun, wanted to stop him after realizing what his son was doing, but it was too late. Lin Yun had already entered the thundercloud. An instant. Just an instant. Staring at the rolling clouds of tribulation lightning, Lin Li's heart grew cold. Although he knew that his son was not afraid of this kind of thunder tribulation, the thunderclouds were no joke. Even he had not tried it before. Long Ji, who had been standing at the side, was also shocked when he saw this. He knelt on the ground and did not say a word. At this moment, the village was silent. No one was willing to talk, especially Lin Rei. He did not know what to do, but he knew that the only thing he could do for his son was to pray. He prayed that his son would not be fatally injured in the thunderclouds. This was the only thing he could do at this moment. Boom! Kacha! Kacha! Thunder rumbled from the thunderclouds. The sound of thunder was terrifying. Except for the thunderclouds, the other places were still very bright and the sun was hanging high in the sky. Time passed little by little, and the thunderclouds were still there. Lin Rei was getting more and more anxious. For Lin Rei, who only had one son left, Lin Yun was his life. Lin Rei would rather be the one entering the thunderclouds than see his son get hurt. Ding dong! Thunder Tribulation Physique Refining Method, Green Lotus Pod, Black Water, a cultivator with thunder spiritual roots, a strong blood chi, the refining method, the Flame Dragon Fire Controlling Hand, and the Reconstruction Pill. The refining method will take 49 days to complete. This time, Thunder Tribulation Physique will be born. Ding dong! Thunder Tribulation Physique appears. The warrior is invincible. The sudden voice of the system stunned him. Hearing the system's words, Lin Li couldn't help but raise his head to look at his son, Yuqi Lei Yun. His heart skipped a beat. Thunder Tribulation Physique, does the system want me to refine my son into a Thunder Tribulation Physique? Lin Rei was very puzzled. If he followed the system's instructions and used the refining technique to refine it, wouldn't that be the same as refining his son into a spiritual weapon? How would he carry on the family line in the future? Ding dong, the thunder tribulation physique is a postnatal physique. Once you cultivate it, you will be fine. Otherwise, you will die and never be able to reincarnate. Perhaps the system knew what Lin Ray was worried about. While Lin Ray was thinking, the system spoke. For a moment, Lin Ray was stunned. His heart was in turmoil. Although he had the system's words, Linley was still unsure of his refining technique. Although he had learned the Flame Dragon fire control technique, he hadn't used it in a long time. He was a bit rusty. In addition, there was only one azure sky canopy. If he failed, the elixir would be nothing, but his son would have no hope. Boom. Crack, just as Lin Ray was hesitating, something happened in the thunderclouds in the sky. Thunder resounded through the sky. Instantly, Lin Ray was awakened by the sound of thunder. Instantly, his mind became much clearer. Forget it. Let's take a gamble. No matter what, I can't watch Yun, or be drowned by the thunderclouds. Anyway, he will die. If I succeed, it will be a great help to Yun, er's cultivation in the future. At this moment, Linley had already made up his mind. He was going to use the mysterious systems method. After thinking about it for a long time, he felt that this was the only way his son would have a chance at survival. If he didn't, he might really die. Lin Ray didn't speak nonsense. He wanted to ask the system for help for such a big matter, but before he could say anything, the system's cold voice sounded in Lin Ray's ears. Don't even think about it. I can't help you. If you continue to rely on the system like this, you won't be able to do anything in the future. So, the system has set a rule. In the future, no matter if it's the system or the little dragon, they will provide you with the method. As for how to deal with it, the host will have to do it himself. Helplessly, although Lin Ray was a little angry when he heard the system's words, Lin Ray didn't have any intention to refute it. He was right, and Linley thought the same. If a person's strength was based on things like the system, then such a cultivator would find it difficult to move forward in the future. The only way to make oneself strong was to make oneself strong enough to protect the things or people that one wanted to protect. Only someone like Linley would be the most realistic way to make oneself strong enough to protect the things and people that one wanted to protect. Immediately, Lin Ray didn't ask for the system's help. Instead, he soared into the sky and arrived below the thunderclouds in an instant. Son, bear with it. Trust me. Trust me. I will definitely get you out of there. As he spoke, he still had a distressed look on his face. However, his expression suddenly changed. Just you wait. When you come out, I will skin you alive. I will let you know what you are capable of. How dare you barge into the thunderclouds? As he spoke, Lin Ray's consciousness entered his storage ring and took out the things that he had prepared this time. Except for the thunder spirit root, which he already had, he had everything else. Phew, looking at the thunderclouds in the sky, Lin Ray took a deep breath. Then, his expression became calm. With a raise of his hand, a natural force of heaven and earth appeared. The Yen Dragon Fire Control Hand was instantly activated. At the same time, the illusory spirit blood fire was naturally indispensable. In an instant, fiery red palm prints appeared and blasted towards the thunderclouds above. Boom! 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 One by one, the fiery red palm prints slammed into the thunderclouds. Suddenly, the thunderclouds showed signs of weakness. It is indeed useful. Fortunately, the little dragon forced me to learn the Yen Dragon Fire Control Hand. Otherwise, I would have been blind today. Seeing how weak the thunderclouds were, Linley hurriedly activated his Immortal Emperor cultivation and the Primal Chaos scripture. At the same time, the Devour Heavens will was activated as well. At the same time, the surrounding thunderclouds emitted energy to replenish the energy he had lost. Palm after palm, red palm prints continuously slammed into the thunderclouds. The thunderclouds, which were originally 100 miles in radius, were now being compressed bit by bit under the pressure of Lin Rei's Yen Dragon Fire control hand. Moreover, what was unbelievable was that the thunderclouds were shrinking faster and faster. In the end, it was so fast that it was pitiful to the naked eye. In this regard, if other cultivators were to witness this, they would definitely be recorded in the scripture. It would even overturn all the common sense that they had ever cultivated. As the thunderclouds continued to shrink, Lin Rei became more and more nervous. He still did not know if he could save his son. Okay, now is the time. Add the green lotus seed and so on. Add the black water every 15 minutes. Finally, add the remolding pill. Then, use the illusory spirit blood fire to refine it. The system's words came out of the blue. However, Lin Rei liked it very much. As soon as the system finished speaking, Lin Rei did not hesitate. In an instant, he used the green lotus seed that he had prepared beforehand and threw it directly into the thunderclouds that had shrunk to a radius of 1,000 meters. Sizzle! As soon as the green lotus seed entered the thunderclouds, the sizzling sound of thunder made everyone's scalp tingle. Boom! Increase it. In an instant, the intensity of the fire exploded several times before it stopped. Lin Rei roared angrily. His eyes were full of worry. As time passed, Lin Rei followed the system's instructions and added the black water and the remolding pill after 15 minutes. When all the materials for the Thunder Calamity Constitution were used up, Lin Rei could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The worry in his heart was relieved. Well, not bad. You used the storytelling technique. I believe that after this, your refining realm and alchemy realm will be greatly improved. Originally, Lin Rei was beginning to relax when he saw that only the illusory spirit blood fire was left to refine. When he heard the system's words, he felt proud. However, the system's voice came again. However, don't think that this is all. Although the materials have been used up, these are just appetizers. You should know that the Thunder Calamity Constitution is second only to the Tendo Constitution. Although it is not as powerful as you, the Supreme Hongmeng, it is still a constitution that is hard to come by in 10,000 years. Even in the immortal realm, there are not many people like me, because they do not dare to take the risk. Stunned, Lin Rei was completely stunned. According to the system's words, it seemed that he had been tricked again, and this time it was not a small trap. You. What do you mean? Although he did not know what the system meant, he could tell that his son would not be in danger. Nothing. I just want your son to be able to take charge of things alone, and you can be at ease to do your own things. As long as one was not a fool, one would know the meaning of the system's words, especially Lin Rei. When he heard the system's words, he knew that it wanted him to quickly solve the matter here, and then concentrate on breaking through his cultivation base, and finally leave the immortal realm and go to the divine realm. Thinking of this, Lin Rei felt helpless. He did not expect the system to be more shameless than the little dragon. However, there was nothing he could do about it. Who asked the system to be so awesome? Well, tell me, what else do I need to do to ensure my son's safety? As long as you say it, I will do as you say. From now on, I will work hard to cultivate and strive to break through the immortal realm as soon as possible, and then go to the divine realm to complete the task. Wait. Wait, this is what you said. I did not say anything. Don't associate this matter with me. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei felt like vomiting blood. He did not expect the system to be so shameless. However, since you said so, then tell me, if I don't agree, wouldn't it be too inconsiderate of me? So, I agree to your request. At this point, Lin Rei did not have any meaning to say anything else, so he chose to remain silent and wait for the system to finish. Actually, the Thunder Calamity body still needs a lot of important materials, and what you just said is just the appetizer of the Thunder Calamity body. Otherwise, why would the Thunder Calamity body be called a warrior race? Chapter 460. Without waiting for Lin Rei's response, a flash of brilliance suddenly appeared in front of him. A shocking amount of spiritual energy was floating in the air. Lin Rei was dumbfounded when he saw the sudden appearance of these things. He recognized a few of them, but he didn't recognize any of the others. Moreover, he had never seen or heard of them before. Sky Chilan grass, thunderstruck wood, heavenly hammer stone. One by one, Lin Rei was shocked by the appearance of these things. For a moment, Lin Rei was stunned in the air. He didn't move at all, as if he was a fool. The things here were like the thunderstruck wood. This thunderstruck wood was an extraordinary item. It was a 10,000-year-old ancient spiritual tree. It was carelessly struck by the lightning tribulation, but it didn't die. Instead, it gave birth to a new powerful creature. If this kind of heavenly treasure appeared in the world, it would cause the entire immortal world, oh no, even the God world, to go crazy. Lin Rei dared to guarantee that this kind of heavenly treasure could not only be used by cultivators in the immortal world, but also by cultivators in the God world. Moreover, it was said that there was a kind of pill that used the creature born from the thunderstruck wood to refine a kind of spirit-seizing pill. Even the God Emperor of the God world would benefit greatly from it. It could even increase his cultivation. Moreover, Lin Rei was so excited that he couldn't control himself when he saw these heavenly treasures that could make the whole of Hongmeng go crazy appear in front of him. Hee, wipe your saliva. These things are all for your precious son to forge a thunder tribulation body. Not one of them can be missing. The system's voice suddenly sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei unconsciously wiped the saliva from the corner of his mouth. Then, he said seriously, even if you didn't say it, I wouldn't do it. Moreover, aren't these things very precious? Lin Rei didn't believe what he said at this moment. However, for the sake of face, what was this? All right. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. However, in the following period of time, you must circulate your cultivation method and devour at the same time. Furthermore, in the following days, you must constantly devour things to recover your spiritual qi. Therefore, once this weapon technique starts, you cannot stop. The system's words made Lin Rei's heart skip a beat. However, when he remembered that his son's life was still uncertain, Lin Rei couldn't care less. All right, I'll listen to you. As long as my son can survive, Lin Rei, swear that I won't come out of seclusion until I break through to the immortal venerable realm and ascend to the divine world. His expression was resolute when he said this, and Lin Rei's words were exactly what the system wanted to hear. Okay, remember what you said. Then let's begin. This is the last benefit I'm going to give you. You have to cherish it. And then, the entire world fell silent. One glowing natural treasure after another began to hover around Linley. Heavenly time pearl, water of forgetfulness, eye of the heavens, just like that, the real mission of refining the thunder calamity physique began. This time, the system was always by Lin Rei's side, hoping that Lin Rei would make a mistake in the refining process and cause him to die in the thunderclouds. Lin Rei grabbed the heavenly treasures one by one and threw them into the thunderclouds according to the time he was given. Time passed by slowly, and in the blink of an eye, a month had quietly passed. During this month, Linley didn't dare to slack off in the slightest. He didn't even dare to pause in his training of the two techniques. On the second day after Lin Rei started refining the thunder calamity physique, Lu Ying walked out of the room. After seeing Lin Rei's situation, he went to protect Lin Rei and didn't let anything disturb him. As for the villagers of Heavenly Blessing Village, they all knew about Lin Rei's situation. Regarding this, the village chief of Heavenly Blessing Village was so scared that he lay in bed for a few days after making things difficult for Lin Rei. Then, he went to Lin Rei's door and waited for Lin Rei to apologize. As for the others, they were already numb. After watching for a few days, they went back to their own things. However, the one who suffered the most during the entire process was Lin Rei. The immortal qi in his body was depleted time and time again, but he kept circulating the devouring heaven execution to replenish it. Because of this, Lin Rei's spirit meridians were slightly damaged. However, there were still benefits. On the 20th day of refining, his cultivation broke through from the peak of the early-stage Immortal Emperor realm to the mid-stage Immortal Emperor realm. However, all the credit was due to the billions of experience from before. Otherwise, Lin Rei might not have been able to break through. A month slowly passed like this. There were still 19 days until the Thunder Calamity physique appeared. The closer it got, the more difficult it became. Huff, 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 rapid panting sounds came from Lin Rei's mouth. It was as if he could see through the thunderclouds. His murderous gaze made people's hearts palpitate. Brat, when you come out and see if I don't beat your ass up. This time, I'll let you know how powerful I am. Let's see if you still dare to mess around in the future. However, although he said this, the illusory spirit blood fire in his hand did not stop. Instead, it was still growing. Hee, you're so stubborn. You're obviously worried to death, but you're still saying these words. Don't you feel bored? For the system who had been observing all this, it knew Lin Rei's mood very well. Stop talking. Let's see how long it will take. Don't tell me there's really 19 days left. At this moment, Lin Rei was really helpless. He had been meditating for another month. Although it could increase his cultivation, his spirit meridians were in pain. This pain was still bearable for a short period of time, but it would be unbearable for a long time. Soon. According to your speed, you have 7 days at most. Just 7 days and you'll be done. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei's face lit up. However, before Lin Rei could rejoice, but sound was heard. However, if your fire is unstable halfway through, then it's hard to say. You know, your fire is very strong. If you're not careful, then it's hard to say. It might take longer. After the system said this, Lin Rei did not speak anymore. He just waited quietly. The illusory spirit blood fire in his hand grew stronger and stronger. With the system's guidance, the day of the Thunder Tribulation was getting closer and closer. Lin Rei was indeed getting more and more nervous. 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, the 7th day, today, was the day the system said the Thunder Tribulation would appear. However, Lin Rei did not feel it at all. There was not even the slightest sign of it appearing. Generally speaking, when an anomaly appeared in the world, there should be a vision. But now, although there were still thunderclouds in the sky, there was no pressure from heaven and earth. The illusory spirit blood fire did not stop. It was refined from day to night. However, there was still no movement from the thunderclouds in the sky. Suddenly, Lin Rei panicked. Hey, didn't you say that my son would be born today? What's the situation now? Why is there no movement at all? Is what you said true? Lin Rei roared in his heart. His face was extremely ferocious. Lu Ying, who had been protecting him, was shocked when he saw Lin Rei's appearance. There was no sound. At this moment, Lin Rei felt like he was hitting cotton. He had no strength at all. Lin Rei could do nothing about it. It's done. The sudden voice startled Lin Rei. He lifted his head and looked at the thunderclouds in the sky. His heart was filled with excitement. The person who spoke just now was the cold voice of the system. Kacha. Kacha. Kacha, a sound that sounded like an eggshell cracking suddenly rang out. At this moment, the thundercloud was cracking bit by bit, just like how an egg would crack open. Bzzz, inside the thunderclouds, there was thunder and lightning that made one's heart tremble. This kind of thunder and lightning made one feel a sense of destruction and a vague desire to purify one's soul. Even Lin Rei had the same feeling when he saw it. Besides, what shocked Lin Rei the most was the pressure released from the thunderclouds. Lin Rei felt that this was not something that an immortal lord should have. As the cracks grew bigger and disappeared, the figure that Lin Rei had been waiting for finally appeared. Boom, a loud explosion was heard. The sky was filled with cracks until it couldn't take it anymore and exploded. Ah, an earth-shattering roar was heard all of a sudden. It was late at night and the villagers of the Heavenly Blessing village were already asleep. But after this roar, all the villagers lit up their lights, put on their clothes, and went out of their houses to look at the sky. Be it the elderly, the middle-aged, the children, or the exhausted youths who worked hard during the day, all of them came to the open space and looked at the roar in the sky. Kacha! 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 Thunderous sounds were heard all of a sudden. The area within 1,000 meters was drowned in a baptism of thunder and lightning, turning into a sea of tears. Ha ha ha! Looking at this scene, the happiest person was none other than Lin Rei. What made him even more surprised was that Lin Rei had used this opportunity to break through to the peak of the early-stage Immortal Emperor realm. He could clearly sense that as long as his son wanted to break through, he could break through to the mid-stage Immortal Emperor realm at any time, just like him. As for how he broke through, there was no need to think about it. With so many heavenly treasures absorbed by his son, as long as it wasn't a ruin, he would be able to break through no matter what. However, Lin Rei didn't expect that all the heavenly treasures would allow his son to break through to the same level as him. Huh, what's wrong? Now that your son's cultivation is at the same level as yours, don't you think you should hurry up and go into seclusion? At this moment, the system hurriedly said to Lin Rei in a provocative tone. However, Lin Rei acted as though he didn't hear the system's words and remained indifferent. He continued to chuckle as he looked at his son, who was venting his anger in the sky. Chapter 461. Time passed bit by bit. Lin Yun, who was venting his anger after breaking through, looked at his father with a smile. His eyes were filled with battle intent. When Lin Rei saw this, he was gratified by his son's reaction. However, he was also very angry. Humph, you've just broken through and you're already trying to intimidate me. You really don't know your limits. Although this was what he thought, Lin Rei didn't reject Lin Yun's request. Bang! The primal chaos dragon spear instantly appeared in his hand. He instantly exerted his mid-stage immortal emperor cultivation. Immediately, a vigorous pressure swept out with him as the center. Ow! Ow! Suddenly, the roars of the azure dragon resounded in the heavens and earth. At the same time, a magical scene appeared. After the roars, the 9 heavens golden dragon with 9 claws appeared behind Lin Rei. It rose in all directions and stared at Lin Yun, who was filled with battle intent. It looked as if it wanted to rush up and devour him. Hiss! Lin Yun, who saw this scene, felt regret in his heart. Just a single glance from the 9 heavens golden dragon was enough to make his soul tremble, let alone his father who was controlling the 9 heavens golden dragon. However, Lin Rei wouldn't give him this opportunity. Lin Rei also wanted to test his son's Thunder Calamity physique. He wanted to see how strong the Thunder Calamity physique was. Come, let me see how strong you are after breaking through to the early stage Immortal Emperor realm. After saying this, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. He instantly held the primal chaos chi in his hand and the 9 heavens golden dragon followed behind him and rushed towards Lin Yun. Ow! Ow! The 9 heavens golden dragon seemed to have felt Lin Yun's battle intent. They immediately separated from Lin Rei's back and swarmed towards Lin Yun. They opened their huge mouths as if they wanted to swallow Lin Yun into their stomachs. Lin Li, who had come with the dragon soul, did not show any mercy, nor did he show any mercy to his son. In his world, there was no such thing as mercy on the battlefield. If he were to go easy on his son now, he would be finished when they met the real enemy. Silent Thunder, kill! He instantly used the Silent Thunder spear art and a huge spear intent rushed towards Lin Yun. He didn't rely on his mid-stage Immortal Emperor cultivation. Hiss! Looking at his father's smooth movements, Lin Yun instantly reacted and teleported away, narrowly avoiding the onslaught. Phew! Lin Yun, who had retreated to the side, was terrified as he recalled the scene from before. He hadn't expected his father's attack to be so sharp and murderous that he hadn't been able to react in time. Lin Yun now knew his own limits. Father, just as Lin Yun gave up on fighting, before he could react, a spear carrying 9 dragon souls had already arrived. Lin Yun had no choice but to raise his weapon to defend himself. Bang! Bang! The sound of weapons clashing resounded through the sky. Everyone was shocked by the scene in the sky, especially Liao Yu, who had been observing the scene. I didn't expect Lin Rei's family to be so powerful. They are probably the top existences in the entire immortal world. But why haven't I heard of them before? His wife is probably a super expert as well. Thinking of this, Liao Yu couldn't help glancing at Luing in the sky. However, as he was afraid that Luing would tell him, he didn't look again. Instead, he focused all his attention on the battle between Lin Rei and Lin Yun. A battle between experts was something that was hard to come by in 100 years. Furthermore, it would be good if they could get something out of this battle. Cough. 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 Lin Yun, who was clashing with his weapon, looked at his father, who was filled with murderous intent. Lin Yun was stunned for a moment. He was terrified of his father's current appearance. How can this be? Father, why? Just as Lin Yun was in shock, Lin Rei's voice sounded. It was clear that Lin Rei's tone was full of reprimand, but it was more of a warning. Little brat, little brat. If you don't have the ability, don't try to be brave. When others see the lightning tribulation, they try their best to avoid it. You, on the other hand, rushed into the lightning clouds. Tell me, are you stupid? As he spoke, Lin Rei attacked Lin Yun with his spear. Moreover, the speed was getting faster and faster. At first, Lin Yun was still able to withstand it, but as time passed, Lin Yun started to feel a little tired. Bang, bang. Bang! Lin Yun, who was forced back step by his father, was very depressed. He smiled bitterly in his heart. He gladly accepted his father's reprimand. Father, I was wrong. Please forgive me. Who knew that the lightning clouds would be so strong? I regretted it after entering the lightning clouds. Saying that, Lin Yun's face was full of guilt. However, Lin Rei could see that although Lin Yun was saying that he felt guilty, he believed that if he could do it again, his son would do the same thing again. This is the last time. If there is a next time, I won't care. I can save you this time, but it doesn't mean that I can save you in the future. Do you understand? I understand. Hearing that his father's tone was getting gentler, Lin Yun was relieved. He quickly nodded and replied. However, just as he finished speaking, a terrifying attack that made him feel terrified instantly arrived. He didn't even have time to react. Azura Spear Art, First Style, Absolute Kill. Bang! After a muffled sound, a figure rushed down from the sky and turned into a shadow, disappearing in an instant. Bang! On a hillside not far from the Heavenly Fortune Village, a loud sound suddenly rang out. If someone saw it again, they would definitely see a human-shaped hole in the ground. Ah! A painful roar came from the huge hole. Not long after, a figure rushed out of the huge hole and soared into the sky. Whoosh! The figure was so fast that it was hard to follow. Not long after, the figure arrived at Lin Rei's side. His face was covered in dust as he stood behind Lin Rei. This is only a warning. Moreover, I was the one who made the move this time. If this was your enemy, you would have already met the King of Hell. Looking at his son who had just returned, if no one had noticed, Lin Lei's eyebrows suddenly twitched when he saw that his son had returned safe and sound. However, he quickly returned to normal, but the fervor in his eyes could not be suppressed. Let's go. After saying that, Lin Rei descended from the sky and arrived at his house. Lin Rei followed behind him. However, at this moment, Lin Yun's face was gloomy. He didn't expect that after breaking through, he wouldn't even be able to take half a move from his father. However, it was also at this moment that Lin Yun secretly swore to himself that he would work hard in his cultivation in the future. It wasn't for anything else, but to be able to take half a move from his father and to be able to fight against him for a longer period of time. Immortal Lin, I was blind before. I'm not Jin Xiangyu. Please forgive me for my previous mistakes. After saying that, the village chief took out more than 30 silver taels from his pocket and handed it to Lin Rei. He said in a trembling voice, Immortal Lin, this is the money you gave me before. Please take it back. I only ask that you don't lower yourself to my level. Lin Rei was truly confused by the village chief's actions. However, after hearing what he said, Lin Rei understood that the village chief knew that he was a cultivator and was afraid of his revenge. That was why. Village chief, you don't have to be like this. I'm really here to live in seclusion. There's nothing else. Just pretend that nothing happened. I'll continue living my normal life. You guys can continue living your normal lives. As he spoke, Lin Li stepped forward and helped the village chief to his feet. As for the money in the village chief's hands, Lin Li put it away, because he knew that if he didn't take it, the village chief definitely wouldn't let the matter rest. As expected, when the village chief saw Lin Rei keeping the money, he was instantly overjoyed. Yes. I'll leave now. I won't disturb Immortal Lin's life anymore. As he spoke, with a strength that came from who knows where, before Lin Li could even see him clearly, the village chief disappeared from where he was, leaving Lin Li's field of vision. Looking at the place where the village chief disappeared, Lin Rei smiled bitterly and shook his head. He didn't bother with the village chief anymore. Instead, he shifted his gaze to the gentle Lu Ying under the roof. It's been hard on you these past few days. He took a step forward and instantly came to Lu Ying's side. Without another word, he pulled her into his embrace and kissed Lu Ying's face. Alright, Yun Er is still watching. Lin Rei's action caused Lu Ying's face to turn red. She struggled free from Lin Rei's hand and jumped to the side as if she was escaping. She rolled her eyes at Lin Rei. For a moment, Lin Rei was speechless. In order to alleviate the awkwardness, he quickly changed the topic. He turned to Lin Yun and said, this time, you benefited from a disaster and directly skipped the immortal monarch realm to reach the emperor realm. However, because of this, your cultivation foundation has been shaken. So, you don't have to rush to break through during this period of time. You can talk about it when you've stabilized your cultivation. Also, after you've stabilized your cultivation and reached the mid-stage immortal emperor realm, I'll tell you something to be happy about. The topic changed too quickly. When Lin Yun heard his father's words, he was stunned. However, after a while, he came back to his senses and nodded in agreement. Oh, I got it. Looking at his son's appearance, Lin Rei didn't say anything else and walked into the house alone. Lin Rei's final sigh stunned Lin Yun and Lu Ying. They didn't know what it meant. Chapter 462. Time flew by in the blink of an eye, catching everyone off guard. It had been 500 years since Lin Rei helped his son refine the lightning tribulation physique. After that, Lin Rei entered the system and went into seclusion. Lin Rei's sudden seclusion caught everyone off guard, especially the newly married Lu Ying. She didn't know what to say, but she obeyed Lin Rei's decisions unconditionally. As for Lin Yun, he was filled with guilt for his father's sudden seclusion. He always thought that it was his fault and would wait for his father's return every once in a while. However, 500 years had passed and he still hadn't seen his father's shadow. He felt even more guilty about this, but it was also because of this that he worked even harder in his cultivation. Ever since that time, Lin Yun seemed to have gone crazy. He cultivated with all his might, day and night. However, he didn't give up on the spirit field at the back of the mountain for even a moment. In the 500 years of his soul, the spiritual herbs in the spirit field had become the best in the eyes of the world. Even in the immortal world, there were people who came to ask for herbs from time to time. Lin Yun would make these people exchange for something of equal value. The spiritual herbs that the Zhao brothers had destroyed were all repaired by Lin Yun after Lin Rui went into seclusion. Moreover, in these 500 years, Lin Yun would occasionally send mature spiritual herbs back to the Xuanzong sect. When he returned to the Xuanzong sect, everyone knew that Lin Rui had gone into seclusion. No one went to disturb him, but they sent a few members of the Dark Department to guard the surroundings of the Heavenly Fortune Village. Lin Yun also gave the order that if they found anyone strange, there was no need to report it. They were to kill without mercy. After all, Lin Yun was now the leader of the Dark Department. In these 500 years, the entire immortal world regained its vitality. Although the major forces that were killed by the Xuanzong sect hadn't recovered yet, it was about time. A few of them were replaced by others. The original Kuei-Shui Empire was now under the control of the White Elephant Empire. The entire immortal world was in awe of the Xuanzong sect. No one dared to show any disrespect. There were even some disciples who went to the Xuanzong sect, wanting to join the Xuanzong sect. However, after the disaster that destroyed the sect, the Xuanzong sect basically stopped recruiting people. They weren't sure if there were other sects among them. They didn't want the previous incident to happen again. Moreover, under Dong Xiaonan's control, the Xuanzong sect became stronger and stronger. All the disciples were waiting for a lot of cultivation resources. After 500 years, all the disciples improved rapidly. Originally, the Xuanzong sect only had 30 to 40 immortal emperors. After 500 years, there were nearly 1,000 immortal emperors and more than 10,000 immortal monarchs. Except for a small number who joined later, the rest were already very sad. During this period of time, Dong Xiaonan's cultivation base also gradually increased. From the original Golden Immortal Realm to the current Peak Immortal Emperor Realm, he was only one step away from breaking through the peak of the immortal world and becoming an immortal venerable. Su Bo, Murong Yu, Wang Hong, and the others had all broken through to the Immortal Emperor realm. Although they were all in the early Immortal Emperor realm, they were still considered the mainstay of the sect. As for Lin Wanyu and the others, it was needless to say. They were all carefully selected by Linli, and they were also verified by the system. Therefore, during this period of time, the 5 people who were originally at the Golden Immortal Realm soared all the way to the peak of the Immortal Emperor realm. Moreover, they could vaguely sense the feeling of ascension. Of course, the one who broke through the fastest was Lin Yun. He soared all the way from the mid-immortal emperor realm. With the guidance of Lu Ying, Lin Yun broke through to the immortal venerable realm in the 400th year. Until now, he was still in the early immortal venerable realm. In these 500 years, many people had undergone earth-shattering changes. Some had even become experts of their own regions. At the same time, there were also people who had become street rats that everyone wanted to beat up. Lin Rui was really amazing in these 500 years. After 100 years of seclusion, he broke through to the peak immortal emperor realm. Because of this, the spirit gathering formation in the martial arts arena was activated. In the 200th year, Lin Rui easily entered the immortal venerable realm with the help of the primal chaos chi in the spirit gathering formation. Because Lin Rui cultivated the primal chaos scripture, there were no obstacles or lightning tribulations when he broke through the barrier. Everything could be said to be natural. When he broke through to the immortal venerable realm, the mission given to Lin Rui by the system was miraculously completed. Lin Rui was very puzzled about this. Originally, he wanted to go out and have a look, but the system had shamelessly sealed the entire system. It even told Lin Rui that the seal could only be removed when he broke through to the peak immortal venerable realm and sensed the feeling of ascension. Lin Rui was depressed about this for a period of time, but after thinking it through, Lin Rui began to work hard to break through. On the 300th year of Lin Rui's cultivation, when he broke through to the intermediate immortal venerable realm, the little dragon woke up from his deep slumber. Immediately, after seeing Lin Rui's appearance in cultivation base, the little dragon quickly began to guide Lin Rui. Just like this, time ticked by. 500 years later, Lin Rei's cultivation base had broken through to the peak of late immortal venerable realm. Moreover, Lin Rei had a feeling that as long as he wanted to break through, he could break through at any time and ascend to the divine world. Of course, the most important part of this was the little dragon. Lin Rei was very grateful to the little dragon who had guided him for 200 years, because he knew that without the little dragon's guidance, he was afraid that it would take him at least 1,000 years to break through to the peak of late immortal venerable realm. Who, in the system of the Nine Heavens Xuanzong Sect, in the spiritual gathering formation of the martial arena, the surrounding grayish qi gave people a hazy feeling. If there were any experts here, they would be able to feel that a trace of this qi was enough for them to cultivate for a few years. However, they were not fated to have such a high-grade spiritual qi. In the middle of the spiritual gathering formation, a man with fluffy hair and a face full of stubble was sitting in the middle of the formation. He looked like a savage. As the saying went, sit like a bell, stand like a pine tree and walk like the wind. At this moment, the man seemed like an ancient existence that was sitting in the middle of the formation motionlessly. It gave people a sense of dread that came from the depths of their hearts. I've finally broken through. A desolate voice was heard from the man who was sitting in the spiritual gathering formation. In an instant, he opened his eyes and a ray of light shot out, shooting towards the distance. Bang! A loud sound was heard, but the man who was sitting in the middle of the spiritual gathering formation didn't move at all. He didn't even lift his eyelids, as if this matter had nothing to do with him. F***ck. Who is this? How can you be so inconsiderate? Can't you let me sleep? Suddenly, a lazy voice that made people want to sleep was heard. Immediately, a trace of joy appeared on the man's face, but he didn't stand up. Instead, he turned his head and saw a helpless youth walking towards him. As the youth got closer and closer, Lin Rei didn't act arrogantly. Instead, he stood up and turned to face the youth. I'm sorry. I just woke up and couldn't control myself. I must have woken you up. Lin Rei apologized. Immediately, the youth was stunned. He looked at Lin Rei as if he had seen a ghost and pondered. He seemed to stop and think about something. For a moment, Lin Rei was dumbfounded. What are you looking at? Don't tell me Before Lin Rei could finish, the youth interrupted, you've changed. Lin Rei, you've really changed. In the past, you couldn't wait to leave. Now, you still haven't thought of leaving. Upon hearing the youth's words, Lin Rei was instantly speechless. He thought the youth was going to say something else. He didn't expect the youth to talk about this matter. Little dragon, you should know that I'm already at the peak of the late immortal venerable realm. Besides, I can feel the call of ascension. So, if you don't give me a treasure that can conceal my cultivation base, I won't be able to leave. Initially, he thought that the little dragon had changed, but after hearing Lin Rei's words, he immediately understood that the little dragon had another request. No wonder he was like this. Alright, since you're about to ascend to the divine world, I'll give you a gift for our first meeting. Having said that, a jade pendant appeared in front of Lin Rei and explained, this is the spirit concealing jade. It can cure what you said just now. You have to take care of it carefully. This thing is very precious. Even I only have one thing with me. If you lose it, it will be gone forever. Wow. Upon hearing the little dragon's introduction, Lin Rei quickly kept the jade pendant and hung it on his waist. After the matter was settled, Lin Rei packed up and was about to leave, but the system stopped him. Ding dong. Host has completed 3 of the 4 missions. There's still 1 mission left. I hope the host can start it as soon as possible. Oh right, there's still 50 years left. If the host hasn't joined a sect in the divine world within these 50 years, I'm sorry, the system will have no choice but to erase the host without mercy. Lin Rei was dumbfounded when he heard the message. Only a fool would understand what it meant. Wasn't it obvious that the system wanted him to leave the immortal world and ascend to the divine world as soon as possible? Alright, I got it. Don't worry. Lin Rei didn't refute. At this moment, he had already gotten used to the system. So, Lin Rei didn't have any objections to this mission. After saying that, Lin Rei exited the system. His body instantly appeared in a very familiar and intimate room. Looking at everything around him, Lin Rei's eyes welled up with tears. I'm back. Lin Rei sighed with many indescribable emotions. He knew that during this period of time, he had completed 3 missions. This meant that he had lost a son and a daughter. So, at this moment, Lin Rei was very emotional. However, he didn't dare to appear beside them. He thought of how he treated Lin Yun before. He was afraid that his son would be a little distant to him like Lin Yun. Chapter 463. Jia. Just as Lin Rei was feeling scared, the door opened. Startled, Lin Rei turned his head and looked at the door with a trace of nervousness in his heart. The person who pushed the door open was a very beautiful woman. She was as beautiful as a celestial fairy, but her chi was extremely cold and unsmiling. Anyone who saw her couldn't help but want to run away. Looking at this beautiful woman, Lin Li's heart skipped a beat. A sense of familiarity welled up in his heart. Although this woman's aura made it difficult for others to approach her, when Lin Li felt this sense of familiarity, he couldn't help but want to go up and hug this woman whom he had never met before. Although he couldn't control his body, his rationality defeated his will. Lin Rei stared at the woman who came in and went forward to inquire about the situation. Similarly, the woman who had just pushed the door open also sensed his gaze. She was also puzzled by the man who had suddenly appeared. She wanted to go up and ask him, but she could not sense any sort of cultivation or presence from him. The woman stopped in her tracks and looked at the man who was about to walk towards her with a wary expression. At this moment, she was ready to fight at any time. One of her hands had already formed an incantation gesture. Her magical weapon was on standby. As soon as the incantation gesture was activated, the weapon would rush out and kill without hesitation. Lin Rei understood the woman's actions very well. After breaking through to the peak immortal venerable realm, Lin Rei basically didn't need to use his spiritual sense to sense everything around him. He ignored her because he knew that even if she used her cultivation base, he wouldn't attack her. How could a Tai true immortal cultivator injure the body of a peak supreme immortal weapon? Step by step, Lin Rei came to the front of the woman and asked with a gentle smile, "Little girl, may I ask why are you here? Where's your family? Is Lin Yun here?" Lin Rei's questions stunned the girl. When she heard Lin Yun's name, she had basically let down her guard, because the current Lin Yun wasn't an ordinary person. Everyone in the immortal world knew that Lin Yun had advanced to the immortal venerable realm. Therefore, if the two of them could say Lin Yun's name so calmly, it meant that the two of them were close friends. However, it wasn't a bad thing to be cautious. "Big brother Yun isn't here. Why are you here?" "Not here?" Hearing the woman's words, Lin Rei frowned. Back then, he had told her not to go out if there was nothing important. He didn't expect that after being in seclusion for so many years, his words would fall on deaf ears. But if Lin Yun was drenched in the rain, he would definitely cry when he grew up. "Oh, it's nothing. I'm Lin Yun's friend. I came here today to look for him. Since he's not here, I'll take my leave." Although Lin Rei was somewhat familiar with the woman in front of him and couldn't help but want to get closer to her, there was no need for him to be courteous to someone he didn't know. And then, as he spoke, Lin Li turned and walked out, not looking back at all. "Humph, what a strange person. If you're looking for your brother, just look for your brother. How rude of you to enter someone's house without asking for permission." Seeing Lin Li disappear, the woman no longer paid any attention to him. Instead, she entered her room and waved her hand. A gentle breeze appeared, and soon, the room, which had been a bit dirty and messy, became clean and tidy. It was no different from a living room. "Stop right there. If you're a human, why are you in my house?" Suddenly, a familiar voice sounded. Immediately, the woman who was tidying up the room frowned. She hurriedly put down her work and rushed out of the house. Looking around, she saw the man who had just left standing in front of the door. When she saw the angry young man who was releasing his cultivation, the woman instantly wanted to stop him. However, it was all too late. In an instant, the young man rushed towards Lin Ray. His fist was covered in frost and carried an icy fist intent. He arrived in front of Lin Ray without any resistance and punched towards Lin Ray's face. On the other hand, Lin Li didn't move in the slightest, and his face was covered in frost. It just so happened that he was originally in a pretty good mood after breaking out of closed-door cultivation, yet as soon as he came out, he encountered a little bastard that was courting death. The little bastard didn't say anything before making a move against him. If it was anyone else, they would be depressed and furious. Humph, little bastard. You've just stepped onto the path of cultivation and you don't know how high the sky is. I think you really need to be taught a lesson. Since that's the case, I'll bring your family, especially your father, to teach you a lesson. After saying that, Lin Ray moved. With a thought, the fist intent that was about to hit the young man suddenly stopped in the air. No matter how hard the young man tried, he couldn't move an inch. Pa, ah. Ah, a crisp sound echoed throughout the heavenly fortune village. At the same time, along with a blood-curdling scream, all the people gathered around to watch the show. Pa. 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 Ignoring the young man's blood-curdling scream, a ruler appeared in Lin Ray's hand and he ruthlessly hit the young man's but again and again. The young man could only let out a blood-curdling scream. He wanted to break free, but no matter how much strength he exerted, it was all in vain. His body was still the same as before. You. What right do you have to hit my brother? Let him go, or else my big brother Yun will kill you. At this moment, the girl who had just been frightened couldn't stay silent any longer. She stepped forward anxiously and pointed at Lin Ray as she threatened. But more than that, she was looking at her brother who was being spanked with tears in her eyes. Hee, sure. Give me your big brother Yun first. Let me see how your big brother Yun is going to kill me. Hearing the words big brother Yun from the woman, Lin Li immediately smiled. At the same time, there was a trace of anticipation in his heart. After not seeing his son for so many years, he wanted to see just how strong his son had become. When the girl saw that her elder brother, who had broken through to the immortal venerable realm, didn't seem to scare him, she felt that this matter was getting more and more troublesome. But she also knew that her elder brother wasn't in her heart at this moment. As the saying goes, distant water can't quench a present thirst. Before Lin Yun arrived, they would be dealt with. Cold ice pricker. Suddenly, the cultivation of a Tai true immortal erupted from the girl's body. A terrifying cold chi rushed out of her body. At the same time, icicles as thick as an arm appeared in front of the girl. All the icicles were pointed at Lin Ray. Murderous intent was bursting out, as if she wanted to kill Lin Ray. However, Lin Ray couldn't be more familiar with the cold ice pricker that the girl was using. If he had known earlier, he would have given it to his wife, Lu Ying, back then. Looking at the girl's current cultivation technique and her facial features that were very similar to his wife's, a bad premonition filled his heart. It can't be so coincidental. However, things were always so coincidental. At this moment, a voice that Lin Ray was familiar with sounded. It was filled with anger. Who dares to bully my younger brother and sister in my house? I think you don't want to live anymore. As soon as the voice sounded, the girl who was about to bite the bullet suddenly gave up on attacking. She retracted her cultivation and threw herself into the arms of the person who spoke. Her voice was filled with grievance, but there was a trace of surprise in it as she complained. Elder brother, it's this person. I woke up early this morning and went to. The girl recounted the entire incident to Lin Yun. Of course, at the same time, there were some embellishments. It was unavoidable. Just like that, He fixed my younger brother in the air with a glance and used the thing in his hand to smack my younger brother's butt. What? Upon hearing this, Lin Yun was furious. He instantly unleashed his immortal venerable cultivation. At the same time, he used his spiritual energy to move all the onlookers away from the battlefield. How dare you bully the children of my Lin family? I think you don't want to live anymore. Lin Yun's voice was filled with boundless anger. However, Lin Yun hadn't seen the face of the person who started the trouble since he arrived. Ta. Step by step, Lin Yun arrived in front of Linli with his early immortal venerable cultivation base. Suddenly, a familiar and frightening face appeared in front of him. This face startled Lin Yun. Then, he couldn't help but tear up. He also retracted his lesser venerable cultivation. Sigh. It's over now. Isn't this a scam? Not to mention being beaten up, even if I cripple you, you can't complain. At the thought of this and his arrogant words, he smiled bitterly in his heart. Plop. He didn't say anything else. It was always better to kneel down first. Otherwise, he would be in trouble later. On the other hand, when the girl saw her immortal venerable brother kneel down in front of a stranger, she was shocked and looked at them in puzzlement. As for Lin Rei, he had a faint smile on his face from the beginning to the end. There wasn't any expression of admiration on his face. But this was what scared Lin Yun the most. Father, I didn't know it was you. Moreover, you didn't inform Yun when you came out of seclusion. You can't blame me, right? Boom, the moment the word father left Lin Yun's mouth, the girl who was fixed in the air heard it. Her mind went blank in an instant, as if she couldn't sense anything around her. She was in a daze. Father, this word had always been in their minds. They had always wanted to see their father, but after such a long time, their father still hadn't appeared. Who would have thought? Chapter 464. Not bad, Yun Er. You're really something. I didn't expect your temper to grow during these years when I wasn't around. SSS. Lin Li's voice echoed. Lin Yun's body trembled and he bitterly smiled. At the same time, he was extremely afraid, especially after hearing his father's words. His heart was beating like a drum. Ugh, father, it's not me. Just as he was about to explain, a gust of strong wind arrived in a flash, carrying a huge pressure. Lin Yun couldn't care less. He immediately turned his hand and slapped forward with his early immortal venerable cultivation base. Bang! When the strong wind and the huge palm collided, both of them retreated a few steps. However, Lin Rei was still a peak immortal venerable. Although he had suppressed his cultivation base, his physique wasn't weak. Lin Li only retreated 2 or 3 steps before coming to a halt. As for Lin Yun, he didn't feel any pain. When his father's attack had collided with his own, in an instant, a terrifying surge of energy had sent him flying back more than 10 steps before he finally came to a halt. What? Lin Yun couldn't bear the sudden phenomenon, but it was also within his expectations. After all, he wasn't a match for Lin Rei. However, it was inevitable for him to be shocked. Moreover, he could feel that his father had used this move while suppressing his cultivation. Thus, Lin Yun couldn't help but admire his father for this. Heh, not bad. Sure enough, your wings have hardened. I didn't expect your cultivation base to reach such a level. Moreover, your Dao foundation is so solid that there's no sign of it floating. Not bad at all. After sensing his son's cultivation level, Lin Li gradually began to praise him. He didn't expect that in the time he was gone, his son would be able to reach such a level. This was an extremely rare level, but at the same time, he was proud of him. This is all because of my stepmother. If it wasn't for her careful guidance, I'm afraid I wouldn't have such strength today, let alone break through to the immortal venerable realm. Looking at the smile on his father's face, Lin Yun heaved a sigh of relief and quickly flattered Luing, even though Luing wasn't around at the moment. Oh, that's right. But just when Lin Yun thought that this matter was over, Lin Rei's cold voice suddenly echoed. Even so, you actually dared to curse your father to die a horrible death? Fuck, you've grown wings. After saying that, he twirled the ruler in his hand and his body silently disappeared. When he reappeared, he was behind Lin Yun. He released his cultivation and directly sealed Lin Yun's cultivation. Then, he whipped Lin Yun's buttocks again and again. Clap. 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 This caused the young man and woman to be extremely shocked in their hearts. The big brother that they'd always regarded as their target had actually been effortlessly suppressed by their father that they'd never met before, and was even beaten up. They were extremely shocked by this. Ah. Father, I won't dare to do it again. You, please spare me. At this moment, Lin Yun was extremely depressed in his heart. He clearly wanted to act like a Bobby, but he didn't expect that he would end up like this. Seeing his son on the verge of tears, Lin Rei's heart softened. He stopped whipping the ruler in his hand and casually undid the seal on Lin Yun's body. Humph, I'll let you off this time. Let's see if you still dare to kneel down. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't give him any more chances. Instead, he turned around and returned the young man to his original body. You. What are your names? Looking at his son and daughter, Lin Rei didn't know what else to say and casually asked. At this moment, the young woman had already thought of what she wanted to say. When she heard this father that she'd never met before ask, she couldn't wait and said, F.A. Father, my name is Lin Xian. That is my younger brother, Lin Shan. We are twins. Hearing his daughter's words, Lin Rei's heart ached and he didn't know what to say. Looking at the current state of his daughter and son, his heart was filled with regret. He regretted that he wasn't able to accompany them as they grew up happily. Instead, he caused them to lose the role of a father in their lives. N. I got it. You too. Come over quickly. Let me see this pair of precious children of mine. After saying that, Lin Rei, who was originally warning himself not to cry, suddenly burst into tears as he opened his arms and looked at Lin Xian and Lin Shan. Put on, the impatient Lin Xian and Lin Shan instantly rushed into Lin Rei's arms and began their conversation. Lin Yun didn't go up the mountain to disturb them. Instead, he disappeared from the Lin family and went to the spiritual farm at the back of the mountain. At this moment, in the spiritual farm, an extremely beautiful woman dressed in coarse hemp clothes was flipping through the fields. Her appearance was extremely pleasing to the eyes. Little mom, don't bother about it. Father has come out of seclusion. Pa-da, after hearing Lin Yun's words, the gourd in Lu Ying's hand fell to the ground and he stood there dumbfounded. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, after hearing this news, Lu Ying didn't react in time. He just stared at Lin Yun with teary eyes. Swish. After being stunned for a few seconds, Lu Ying regained his senses. His body instantly turned into a ray of light and disappeared from the back of the mountain, flying towards the heavenly fortune village. Looking at the empty spiritual farm, Lin Yun laughed bitterly and also disappeared. He came here to find Lu Ying and bring him back. Now that it was done, and he hadn't seen his father for a long time, so, in the blink of an eye, the day turned into night. At this moment, the Lin family was brightly lit and laughter could be heard from time to time. The whole family gathered together and sat at the dining table. The fragrant dishes on the dining table were enough to make one's mouth water. Just looking at them made one's mouth water. Alright, after coming out of seclusion, let's leave this place. After 100 years, we'll still be leaving this place. After coming out of seclusion, Lin Rei also knew that he had been in seclusion for over 500 years. Regarding this, Lin Rei was also shocked. What? Hubby, we're leaving? Lu Ying wasn't used to Lin Rei's sudden words. After living a comfortable life for 500 years, Lu Ying had already fallen in love with this place. Knowing that they were leaving now, he suddenly felt a little reluctant and bitter. Not only Lu Ying, but even Lin Xian and Lin Shan, who had lived here since they were born, already saw this place as their home. After hearing this, they were stunned. With regards to everyone's actions, Lin Rui knew what they were thinking. However, he had no choice. If he could truly become the strongest person in the realm of Dao, perhaps he could live an ordinary life. But now, he couldn't, he still couldn't. It's time to leave. This time, after returning to the sect, I have something to announce. After that, looking at them, Lin Rui said with a heavy expression, but he paused at the end. After that, we should leave this place. The illusionary spirits here are no longer suitable for people like us to cultivate. The moment he said this, everyone was stunned. However, Lu Ying wasn't. When she first met Lin Rui, she knew that her husband had already reached the same realm as her. Thus, she wasn't surprised by this sentence. However, Lin Yun and the rest weren't surprised either, especially Lin Xian and Lin Shan, who had just reunited. They knew what this sentence meant. No one said anything. Everyone tacitly lowered their heads and started eating. However, throughout the entire meal, only Lin Rui was eating very happily. The others were stuffing their chopsticks into their mouths. This meal was very difficult, as though everyone didn't want it to end. However, Lin Rui wasn't the same. He finished his meal very quickly. Looking at everyone's expressions, Lin Rui couldn't help but smile bitterly. Alright, even if I leave, we will still be able to meet again in the future. Besides, Yun you are already an early immortal venerable. I believe it won't be long before you break through to the peak of late immortal venerable. At that time, we will naturally be able to reunite in the divine world. After saying that, Lin Rui quickly said to Lin Xian and Lin Shan, as for the rest of you, as long as you work hard, I believe that you will be able to ascend to the divine world in less than 1,000 years. At that time, we will be able to live together. Moreover, no one in the immortal world will dare to touch the position of the Xuanzong sect. Here, you will be able to live a happy life and won't be in danger. Hearing this, everyone fell silent. Lu Ying, who was at the side, agreed with Lin Rui's words and said, "That's right. Your father is right. You must cultivate well here. We will be waiting for you in the divine world." After saying that, without waiting for their reply, he stood up and pulled Lin Rui into the room. In the room, the moment Lu Ying entered the room, he threw himself into Lin Rui's arms and cried. Lin Rui had already prepared himself for this scene. "Whoa, you bastard, do you know how I've spent the past 500 years? Look at you, we just got married and you have to go into seclusion. Do you know how much I miss you?" Lu Ying cried and complained at the same time, pounding Lin Rui's chest non-stop. This scene caused Lin Rui's heart to ache and he almost burst into tears. Alright. Don't cry, don't cry. Lin Rui originally wanted to comfort Lu Ying, but he didn't expect that his words would cause Lu Ying to cry even harder, to the point that Lin Rui felt a headache coming on. Bastard. Whoa, he spent the entire night being called a bastard. He cried non-stop, complained non-stop, and complained non-stop. He spent the entire night talking about his 500 years of sufferings, tormenting Lin Li to the point where he couldn't even begin to describe it. He wanted to resist, but he felt that he owed Lu Ying and was afraid of hurting her. Thus, he could only swallow his anger and endure the humiliation, enduring Lu Ying's complaints and nagging. Chapter 465. Perhaps she was tired from crying, or perhaps there were other reasons, but it wasn't until the morning sun shone on the two of them that Lu Ying finally relaxed. Her body relaxed and she fell asleep in Lin Rui's arms. Looking at his wife in his arms, Lin Rui's heart was filled with guilt. At this moment, he swore that he would never be like before, only feeling regret and realizing the importance of the other party after losing her. Go to sleep. When you're done sleeping, we'll be back at the sect. Looking at his wife in his arms, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with tenderness. In an instant, a bit of immortal spiritual energy entered Lu Ying's body. Then, Lu Ying fell into a deep sleep. It's been hard on you. It won't happen again. Lin Rei couldn't help but sigh. He gently placed his wife in his arms on the bed, then covered her with a blanket and walked out. When he arrived at the main hall, Lin Rei released his divine sense to investigate. In the end, he realized that in the entire Lin family, there was only him and his wife. Everyone else had disappeared. Hee, brat, at least you still remember what I said. Saying that, Lin Rei's face lit up. Then, he remembered where his 3 children were. He walked out of the house and walked towards the spirit field in the back mountain without using any of his cultivation. The scenery along the way was pleasant. Lin Rei, who had lived in darkness for 500 years, was deeply moved when he saw this scene. As expected, the higher my cultivation, the more I see things in the entire immortal realm. In the past, I could only see the surrounding spiritual energy, but now I can see traces of the great Tao. Looking at the energy in the natural environment, Lin Rei couldn't help but be moved by all the changes. Along the way, Lin Rei really enjoyed this kind of life. He was even a little intoxicated by it. However, he knew that this kind of life would end very soon. Alright, when you reach the peak of the Tao, you can do whatever you want. No one will care about you. When that time comes, we'll live this kind of rural life together. Suddenly, the little dragon's voice was heard. Then, the figure of a young man appeared beside Lin Rei. However, the two of them had completely different auras. Lin Rei belonged to the noble and domineering kind, giving people a feeling of being high and mighty like a god. As for Xiaolong, his body was hazy and indistinct, giving off an unfathomable aura. However, by Lin Li's side, he seemed very harmonious, giving off a warm and gentle aura. Good. When the time comes, I'll help you create a physical body and find a wife for you to give birth to a bunch of children. Then, you'll marry a few of my family members. After that, you'll have to guide them more in the future. As soon as he said this, the two of them looked at each other and laughed at the same time. Their laughter was very carefree. Alright, but it's useless to think about it now. When we get to the spiritual field, pick all the spiritual herbs on it. If you want that piece of spiritual field, you can transplant it into the system and put it in the storage first. Who knows, there might be a chance to activate the spiritual field function in the future. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei's smile grew even wider. He nodded his head in understanding and hastened his steps towards the spiritual field. Big brother Yun, do you think father is really going to leave this place? At this moment, in the spiritual field, Lin Xian looked at Lin Yun and asked, her voice filled with reluctance. That's right, big brother Yun. You're the eldest brother, you should know father's character. Tell me, will father really leave? Lin Yun, who was currently picking spiritual herbs, was stunned when he heard his younger brother and sister's question. However, he recovered quickly and said to his younger brother and sister with a serious expression, in the future, just call me second brother. You guys might not know, but the one father relies on the most is big brother Jin En. Speaking of this, Lin Yun's expression was filled with sorrow. He liked Jin En very much and Jin En also loved and cared for him. Therefore, he respected Jin En very much. Big brother? Then where is he? Why have we never seen him and never heard you guys mention him? Hearing their brother's words, Lin Xian and Lin Shan looked at Lin Yun with puzzlement. Big brother. Big brother is dead, he died in that battle. Auntie is also dead. As he spoke, Lin Yun couldn't help but burst into tears. The sorrow in his eyes was exposed without any concealment. Big brother and auntie are all heroes. Their contributions to the sect are extremely great. Therefore, in the future, you guys must respect them, do you understand? As he spoke, Lin Yun closed his mouth and didn't say anything else. Instead, he focused on his work seriously. The three people working in the spiritual field didn't know that when they were talking about Jean En and Jean Ling, Lin Ray had already silently arrived at the spiritual field. After hearing their conversation, Lin Ray valued his son even more. At the same time, Lin Ray's heart ached for Jean En and Jean Ling. The sorrow in his heart caused him to freeze on the spot, unable to move. Sigh. It seems like Jean En and Jean Ling are indeed a thorn in your heart. However, you can rest assured that as long as you ascend to the divine realm and cultivate to the level where you can enter the ghost realm, you will be able to find your wife and children's souls. When the time comes, you can use your cultivation to revive them. I won't lie to you about this. Alright, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's hurry up and get to work. It's time to hand over some things and leave. As for the little dragon's words, Lin Ray only treated it as a casual remark. As for the matter of reviving his wife and children, Lin Ray no longer held any hope. However, he still wanted to give the little dragon's suggestion a try. After saying that, Lin Li sorted out his emotions and walked into the spiritual field, arriving in front of Lin Yun and the other two. Similarly, the moment Lin Ray entered the spiritual field, the three of them sensed someone approaching. When they saw that it was their father, the three of them instantly stood together, looking extremely nervous. Ha ha ha, alright, don't be nervous. Looking at the expressions of his three sons, Lin Ray really wanted to laugh. I'm here to tell you to hurry up and pack up the things in the house. Take whatever you want with you and leave whatever you don't want with you. We'll be leaving in a while. So fast. Hearing their father's words, the three of them exclaimed. Yesterday, they were still discussing this matter. They didn't expect that they would have to leave today. This made them leave the place where they had lived for 500 years. They were really reluctant to part with it. Father, can we live like this for a while longer? So that we can, alright, Xian don't add to the trouble. Since father has decided, then as children, we will obey. At this moment, Lin Yun who was beside him heard his half-sister's words. He didn't wait for her to finish her sentence and quickly stopped her. Lin Xian who still wanted to say something, saw her brother's expression and stopped. Then, she obediently shut her mouth and no longer spoke. Looking at the appearance of the three of them, Lin Ray didn't say anything and allowed them to leave the spiritual field. Then father, the three of us will go back and pack our things first. Seeing that his father had already made up his mind, Lin Yun brought Lin Xian and Little Dragon away from the back mountain. Lin Ray didn't bother about the departure of the three of them. With a bang, his peak immortal venerable cultivation base burst forth and a terrifying force was released. Pooh! 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 At this moment, a strange phenomenon appeared. All the spiritual fruits and herbs in the spiritual field exploded the instant Lin Ray released his cultivation base. The spiritual energy from the spiritual fruits dissipated in the entire immortal world, becoming a part of the immortal world. The appearance of the strange phenomenon frightened Lin Ray so much that he quickly retracted his cultivation base. Looking at the spiritual fruits and herbs that had already disappeared, Lin Ray's heart ached. When the little dragon saw this scene, a happy smile immediately appeared on his face. As he laughed, he said, "Ha ha ha, you deserve it for acting tough." Looking at the little dragon's gloating face, Lin Ray was speechless. With regards to the little dragon's actions, Lin Ray was already used to it. Alright, stop talking nonsense. Quickly keep these spiritual herbs. I don't want to waste them. You know that even if I don't need them, they are still a very powerful resource for the sect. The little dragon chose to acquiesce to Lin Ray's words. Without waiting for Lin Ray's reply, the little dragon raised one of his hands and pointed it at Pang Long. A suction force from the spiritual field was released from the little dragon's hand. What the F***ck? As soon as this energy appeared, Lin Ray was stunned. Facing this energy, Lin Ray felt his heart palpitating. Little dragon, just you wait. How can you not tell me that you have such a powerful energy? Let's see how you explain it later. Looking at the little dragon who was collecting the spiritual herbs for him, Lin Rei didn't say anything. Instead, he watched this scene quietly. Swish. 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 In an instant, the suction force was generated. Instantly, the spiritual herbs within a radius of dozens of acres seemed to have come alive and gathered toward the little dragon's hand involuntarily. Besides, what surprised Lin Rei was that the instant they entered the little dragon's hand, they were differentiated according to their different medicinal properties. Damn, this technique is simply amazing. No, I must get my hands on it. Lin Rei sensed that this technique was a special technique. Besides, this technique could only be used when he was refining pills and could also save a lot of trouble. Time passed little by little. The dozens of acres of spiritual herbs began to slowly disappear. Finally, after half an hour, there was not a single spiritual herb left in the entire spiritual field. All of them were collected by the little dragon into the system. Oh my, it's finally done. If it's still not done, I really won't be able to take it. After the matter was settled, the cultivation instantly disappeared. Suddenly, the little dragon bent over and complained to Lin Rei in a very tired manner. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei wanted to go forward and comfort it, but before he could reach it, he was interrupted by the little dragon's words. That. I can't take it anymore. Just now, I used too much of my soul force. I have to go back and rest. I'll leave this place to you. I won't come out in a short period of time. As for the matter of going back to the Sky Xian realm, I've already discussed it with the system. He said that this time, it'll be a free gift to you. The decryption of the teleportation array has already been placed in the system. This time, there are 2 chances. You only need to go back and forth once. In an instant, the little dragon disappeared on the spot, causing Lin Rei to be completely confused. He still hadn't figured out the whole story, and he didn't see the little dragon again. Damn. Looking at the place where the little dragon disappeared, Lin Rei couldn't help but stop thinking about it. Ha! Sky-raising palm, break. A gust of wind howled, and an unbelievably huge palm appeared in the blink of an eye. In an instant, it sank into the ground. Then, all the spiritual fields were dragged up by this huge palm. Ha ha ha, looking at the dozens of mu of spiritual fields in front of him, Lin Rei couldn't help but laugh heartily. Then, with a thought, he instantly stored the dozens of mu of spiritual fields into the system. Phew, the matter was done. Even a venerable immortal would have a headache dealing with this kind of matter. But fortunately, the matter was perfectly resolved. After finishing, Lin Rei looked at the familiar scenery that made him somewhat reluctant to part with it. After sighing with emotion for a while, he teleported and disappeared on the spot. As for the matter at the back of the mountain, the surrounding villages all felt it. Moving dozens of mu of land was something that even a venerable immortal like Lin Rei couldn't do quietly. Therefore, at this moment, the people of the surrounding villages all rushed to the spiritual fields. Of course, the Heavenly Blessing village was also included. Along the way, looking at the villagers rushing to the spiritual fields, Lin Rei's eyes produced a sense of guilt. However, it disappeared in an instant. At this moment, in the Lin family, after hearing Lin Rei's instructions, Lin Yun returned home to pack up. Basically, everything in the house was packed up by Lin Rei, including the bowls that they had been eating from. Apart from the house, there was nothing left. Zhiya. The sound that no one wanted to hear was heard. Everyone's gaze shifted to the door, only to see Lin Rei's figure appear. Very good. Lin Rei entered the room. His 3 sons were very nimble. Then, he smiled and walked into the room. When he came out again, Lu Ying was in Lin Rei's arms. However, Lu Ying was still in a deep sleep and seemed to be sleeping very peacefully. Seeing this scene, Lin Yun and the other 2 tactfully didn't disturb them. Instead, they waited for Lin Rei's orders. Let's go, there's no need to return to this place in the future. After saying this, Lin Rei looked at the house with reluctance before walking out of the door. He flew through the air and disappeared from the Heavenly Blessing Village, the place where he had been in seclusion for hundreds of years. As for Lin Xian'er and Lin Shan, they also had deep feelings for this place. After all, this was the place where they were born. However, compared to their father, this place wasn't worth a single cent. Seeing their father leave, Lin Yun and the other two swept a glance at the home where they had been born for 100 years before following Lin Rei without turning back. The group flew towards the sky of the eastern central region. They didn't stop at all as they transformed into streaks of light and disappeared into the horizon. Chapter 466. In the central region of the eastern region of the immortal world, above the entrance of the Sky Vault Mountain, a few streaks of light shot over from afar before finally stopping at the entrance. Wah! Suddenly, one of the four people who had appeared was a woman. When she saw the scene in front of her, her face was already filled with shock, causing the people beside her to laugh. Hee hee, little sister, don't be so surprised. This is where we will be staying in the future. Also, let me tell you, this place was created by Father alone. At this moment, the slightly older young man spoke to the girl before turning to the man who was carrying a peerless beauty behind him. His tone was extremely respectful. Father, we are, let's go in. After we enter, inform all the upper echelons of the Xuanzong sect to gather at the main hall of the Sky Vault. Tell them that I have something to tell them. The man gestured to Lin Rei, and the woman in his arms was naturally his unconscious wife, Luying. It took them half a month to return here. And this was only with his sons. If it were him, he would have been able to return here in less than a day. Oh, got it. Hearing his father's words, Lin Rei hurriedly nodded his head and was about to take out his token to activate the formation. But before he could do anything, Lin Rei, who was carrying Luying, raised his left hand and a mysterious talisman instantly appeared in his hand. Open. As he spoke, the talisman in his hand instantly flew towards an empty space in front of him. Boom, a thunderous sound rang out. Miraculously, the talisman stopped after flying a short distance ahead, as though it was blocked by something. After which, the talisman disappeared into nothingness, followed by a series of rumbling sounds. Kacha! 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 The sound of a door opening rang out in everyone's ears. Lin Xian'er and Lin Shan, who were at the side, curiously turned their heads towards the source of the sound. At this moment, 10 meters ahead of them, a door that they had never seen before appeared. Not only that, it was extremely simple and unadorned, giving off a feeling of vicissitudes of life. A faint pressure instantly entered their bodies, as if it was probing for something. However, after a while, the pressure disappeared, as if it had never appeared. The door slowly opened as the scene within appeared before the eyes of everyone. Celestial music drifted in, giving off a hazy feeling, causing Lin Xian'er's heart to be filled with curiosity. Greetings, Sect Master. Suddenly, a loud and clear voice rang out. Two middle-aged men dressed in white silently appeared at the door. They faced Lin Rei with eyes full of respect. However, they hesitated because Lin Rei had stipulated that they didn't need to kowtow to him. Therefore, the two disciples bowed slightly. Well, you guys are not bad, but you still need to be more vigilant. Seeing the two newcomers, Lin Rei revealed a gratified expression. Next, he pulled out a bottle of medicinal pills capable of increasing cultivation from his storage ring and tossed it towards the two gatekeeping disciples. These 2 bottles of medicinal pills are used to increase your cultivation. Right now, the 2 of you should be at the high immortal realm, right? If you have nothing to do, cultivate more and strive to break through to the immortal emperor realm as soon as possible, becoming the cornerstones of the sect. With regards to medicinal pills, the 2 of them were extremely fond of them. Let alone these medicinal pills that could increase their cultivation, they were extremely beneficial to their cultivation. After which, the 2 of them received the medicinal pills and clutched them tightly in their palms. They hurriedly thanked Lin Rei, many thanks for Sect Master's generosity. We will definitely cultivate diligently and not let down Sect Master's nurturing. After speaking, the two of them retreated, opening up a path for Lin Rei and the others. And with regards to the scene earlier, Lin Xian and Lin Shan, who had always lived in the mountain village, were incomparably stunned. This was especially so when they saw the reverence in the eyes of these experts when they saw their father. At this moment, their respect for their father grew even more. Let's go. After speaking to everyone, Lin Rei didn't take the medicinal pills. Instead, he directly activated his cultivation and enveloped the three of them with immortal qi. In an instant, they disappeared from the entrance. It seems like Sect Master's cultivation has reached its peak after leaving this time. We are truly unable to catch up to him. Forget about it. We are already extremely fortunate to be able to become disciples of the Xuanzong sect. So, don't bite off more than you can chew. What we should do is to do our job well and dedicate our lives to the sect. This is what we should do. After Lin Rei left, the two guards couldn't help but sigh with emotion when they sensed Lin Rei's cultivation. And the news of Lin Rei's return spread like wildfire in the entire Xuanzong sect. Regardless of whether they were patrolling, or simply cultivating in the Heaven's Vault mountain range, the moment they received news of Lin Rei's return, they immediately stopped all their activities and flew towards the Tianqin Hall. Not only the disciples, even Bing, Lin Wanyu, Jian Feng, and the other higher-ups rushed to the Tianqin Hall as soon as they received news of Lin Rei's return. Among them, the happiest one was Dong Xiao, the male emperor. At this moment, he was a real male emperor, genuine and genuine. I finally don't have to manage the sect anymore. I can finally be free. At this moment, if Lin Rei knew of the thoughts of the male emperor, he would definitely laugh his head off. However, Lin Rei didn't know that. The Xuanzong sect, which had always been quiet, was completely lively at this moment. Usually, not to mention recognition, it was hard to even see a bird in the sect. But today, everyone had appeared, and they were all flying towards the best palace in the sky. Lin Rei had long since noticed this scene. He also knew that the news of his return had already spread in the Xuanzong sect. Moreover, Lin Rei also knew that the Xuanzong sect's Tianqin Hall was already packed with people. You don't need to inform them in a while. They are already here. Stand beside me in a while. I have something to announce. The sudden words made him a little puzzled, but he still nodded in agreement. They were very fast. Before long, Lin Rei led them to the Tianqin Hall. At this moment, the scene in the Tianqin Hall was somewhat different from what Lin Rei had perceived. Because the Tianqin Hall was very lively at this moment. We, the disciples of the Xuanzong sect, pay our respects to the sect master. I, Jian Feng, the head of the law enforcement department, pay my respects to the sect master. The moment they landed in the Tianqin Hall, a group of people flocked to his side and began to report the names of their departments. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei felt his hair stand on end. Just the registration alone took half a day. Lin Li hurriedly stopped the people behind and said to them, Good. You all have done very well. I am very satisfied with your training during this period of time. In an instant, the entire Tianqin Hall quieted down. It was so quiet that it felt strange. This sovereign came back today to see you all. Secondly, I have something important to tell everyone. After saying this, Lin Rei's gaze swept over the tens of thousands of disciples, the heads of his departments, and the empress, who had been acting as the sect master all this time. Everyone stared at Lin Rei, not daring to blink for a moment. They also didn't dare to show any signs of displeasure. All of them listened attentively to Lin Rei's speech. This sovereign has been in seclusion for 500 years. Finally, the heavens don't disappoint those who are willing. After 500 years of seclusion, this sovereign has finally broken through to the peak of the immortal venerable realm. Ascension is imminent. So before I leave, I want to appoint the next sect master. From now on, all of you must obey the orders of the next sect master. What? The sect master is abdicating? Ascension? Divine world? How can this be? In an instant, all the problems were solved the moment Lin Rei finished his speech. The people below no longer chose to remain silent. Everyone was stunned and doubtful. Humph. I haven't seen you all for 500 years. It seems like you all have forgotten the rules. I haven't finished my speech and you all have already started to discuss among yourselves. Do you all really think you're so capable? Looking at their current appearance, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with disappointment. Although each of them could become an expert of a region if their cultivation base was improved, if they didn't have discipline, they would be nothing more than a disgusting expert. Sooner or later, they would be killed by someone. A cold snort instantly entered the ears of all the cultivators. In an instant, the noisy crowd quieted down. Their foreheads were filled with cold sweat as if they were terrified. We know our mistake. Please forgive us, Sect Master. Everyone lowered their heads and bowed to Linley in apology. Seeing them like this, Linley didn't say anything else. Instead, he chose to leave. And so, since he was going to leave, then he would leave the matters of this place to the people who should be managing it. And all of you are the elders who have followed me to conquer this sect. Therefore, I believe that all of you will be able to assist the new sect master well. He looked at the crowd and changed his tone. He pulled Lin Yun to the front and pointed at him, saying to the tens of thousands of people of the Xuanzong sect, "He is my son. Although he hasn't been in the sect for a long time, he is absolutely qualified to lead the sect that I founded. Moreover, he has the ability to do so." Having said that, Lin Rei glanced at Lin Yun, who was standing in front of him. Lin Yun didn't disappoint him. He understood what was going on with just one glance. Boom! A huge pressure instantly rushed towards the tens of thousands of disciples of the Xuanzong sect. Pooh! The pressure of an early immortal venerable wasn't something that immortal monarchs and immortal sovereigns could withstand. Although immortal sovereigns were still fine, immortal monarchs were finished. The moment they felt the terrifying pressure, a mouthful of blood spurted out from their mouths. Their faces instantly turned pale. This incident happened so suddenly that no one was aware of it. They weren't mentally prepared, let alone physically prepared. Therefore, injuries were inevitable. Chapter 467. Alright, you can keep it now. Lin Rei hastily stopped them after seeing that the deterrence was effective, but he couldn't overdo it. Of course, Lin Yun understood his father's intention. Therefore, the moment he received Lin Rei's order, he withdrew his early immortal venerable cultivation base back into his body. In an instant, the moment the pressure disappeared, everyone's forehead was covered in cold sweat. At the same time, the disdain in their eyes had been replaced by respect. Remember, Lin Yun will be the sect master of the Xuanzong sect in the future. His orders will be the best orders. All of you just need to do your best to assist Yun. If any of you can break through the immortal venerable realm, or even ascend to the divine realm, that will naturally be the best. Having said that, Lin Rei's eyes glinted with expectation. How pitiful. He was so optimistic about their chances of ascending to the divine realm. Of course, the most important problem was their own efforts. Without their efforts, even if Lin Rei was looking forward to it, it would still be useless in the end. Plop, plop, suddenly, tens of thousands of disciples knelt on the ground and looked at Lin Rei with excitement. They said in a loud and respectful voice, "Yes, we will definitely ascend to the divine realm." Their voices resounded through the clouds. Everyone was determined to ascend to the divine realm. Looking at their expressions, Lin Rei felt gratified from the bottom of his heart. "And I believe in all of you because all of you are brought up by me, Lin Rei. You are the strongest. You are the future rulers of this world." His words hit the nail on everyone's head. Instantly, all of them raised their left hand and roared passionately, We will follow the Sect Master to conquer the world and let the name of the Xuanzong Sect appear in all the worlds. Ha ha ha, everyone laughed. Their laughter was carefree and unrestrained. They laughed as if they were the only ones in the world. Alright, you guys can handle the inheritance ceremony yourselves. I still have things to do, so I won't be here. After saying this, Lin Rei wasn't in a hurry. Instead, he yelled into the air, Blood 136, you'll follow me into the divine realm and roam the divine realm proudly. Are you willing? Whoosh, 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 as soon as he finished speaking, the sound of something piercing through the air could be heard. Everyone turned to look at the source of the sound. 36 moonlight streaked across the sky and appeared in front of Lin Rei. They were unwilling to come out and knelt in front of Lin Rei. The 36 of us pledged our lives to follow Sect Master to the divine world. His tone was extremely firm, to the point that everyone felt that if Lin Rei asked them to commit suicide right now, they would not hesitate at all. Ha ha ha, good, good, good. After this matter is over, follow me and leave this place. As he spoke, Lin Rei waved his hand for everyone to stand up. Then, he retreated to the side and looked at his 5 disciples. Looking at them, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with doting love. Come forward. Master. As soon as Lin Rei finished speaking, the 5 of them walked up to Lin Rei and knelt on the ground, respectfully greeting Lin Rei. The 5 of you did not disappoint Master's expectations of you. To be able to break through to the Dan Immortal Emperor realm in such a short time is truly not easy. When he spoke up to hear, Lin Li couldn't help but sigh with emotion. When all of you took me as your master, you were still children that hadn't grown up. I never imagined that all of you would be so slender and elegant now. Master feels gratified for all of you. As he spoke, Lin Rei's eyes couldn't help but moisten. At the same time, his mind flashed back to when he first met them. Lin Wanyu and the Xian Yuan siblings were the most pitiful. They were children without parents. If they hadn't met him, they would have been long gone by now. Master, looking at Lin Rei's strange state, Lin Wanyu's eyes couldn't stop the tears from flowing down. Then, without caring about etiquette, she stood up and came to Lin Rei's side. She hugged Lin Rei and began to sob and cry. Once they started, they couldn't stop. One by one, they hugged Lin Li, and all 5 of them hung onto Lin Li's body. This scene made everyone's heart ache. Fortunately, they were mentally appraised. Otherwise, they would have cried out by now. Master is about to leave, but I'm worried about you the most. Are you willing to leave with Master and go to the immortal world? At this time, Lin Rei quickly calmed down and said all the words he wanted to say. However, Lin Rei's implementation of the implementation of the implementation of the implementation of the policy, so in the end, he still asked for their opinion. If they didn't want to leave, Lin Rei wouldn't force them. However, Lin Rei simply didn't know that at this time, the hearts of Lin Wanyu and the other 5 disciples were in a perilous situation. They originally thought that this time, it was impossible for them to go to the immortal world. They didn't expect that the situation would change. This made their hearts tremble. However, Lin Rei, who didn't know the truth, saw their appearance and thought that they didn't want to leave. Then, he sighed and said, of course, if you don't want to leave, you can stay here. I won't force you. You are free. Besides, the immortal world is so dangerous, I don't want you to suffer. Looking at the 5 disciples who were in a daze, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with doubt. After a while, the 5 people who were in a daze finally reacted. Each one of them was excited, and their eyes were filled with passion as they looked at their master. Go. Go, of course, we'll go. That's the immortal world. Over there, we can quickly break through the immortal venerable realm and reach the immortal realm. After hearing their answer, Lin Rei's face revealed a smile. At the same time, the 5 of them began to think about the immortal world. Alright, stand to the side. Lin Rei could only do this for them. Then, he turned his gaze to the male emperor and Lin Tian. Male Empress, I will fulfill my promise to you. When we leave this time, you will come with me to Tianxian continent and bring your parents here. I believe that if they cultivate here, their lifespans will be even longer. Many thanks, Brother Lei. The male emperor didn't expect Lin Rei to treat this matter so seriously. Because of this, the male emperor became even more loyal to Lin Rei. It's nothing. This is what I promised you back then. If I can't even do this, how can I be worthy of being your brother Lei? Besides, you're the elder of the Xuanzong sect. Just based on this, I have to bring my parents here. After saying that, Lin Rei turned his gaze to Lin Tian, the brother he had met in the Xingwu realm. Lin Rei didn't know what to say to Lin Tian. When he thought of what Lin Tian had done to him back then, Lin Rei couldn't help but want to protect him. Little Tian, you're an expert now. Now, you have two choices. Looking at Lin Rei didn't force him. Instead, he let him choose his own path. First, you leave this place with me and go to the realm of the gods. Second, you stay here and become the second elder of the Xuanzong sect. You'll be in charge of a powerful force. As soon as he said that, Lin Tian's expression changed. At this moment, Lin Wanyu hurriedly signaled to Lin Tian with her eyes. It was as if she was saying, Uncle Tian, hurry up and promise Master to go to the realm of the gods with us. Lin Li knew exactly what Lin Wanyu was doing behind him. He also knew that Lin Tian was on extremely good terms with her, to the point where he was like a father to his daughter. Young master, I've already said this before. Wherever you go, I'll be there. Furthermore, I haven't become as strong as young master, so how can I leave young master and live a comfortable life alone? In fact, Lin Rei already knew the answer, but he felt more at ease when he said it. Good. This time, all of you will leave with me. Including Bing, Ming, Tian Yun. Wait, all of you will come with me. As for the vacant department head position, Yun, I'll leave it to you. But you must be fair and just. It doesn't matter if you have a powerful backer or not. In this place, all capable people must take up the responsibility. Yes, young master. Yes, father. Lin Yun was a little reluctant to see them leave, but he had no other choice. He knew that they were his father's brothers and disciples, and any one of them was older than him. All right. I'll leave Xian, and Shan, in your care from now on. Kue Gang will be yours. He'll be one of the sect's elders from now on. He won't appear unless the sect is in a life-and-death situation. Before leaving, Lin Rei couldn't possibly take all the experts with him. If he did, then the sect in the realm of the gods would be in imminent danger. Yes, father. I understand. Finally, Lin Yun revealed a happy smile after hearing his father's words. He knew about Kue Gang. Kue Gang was an immortal venerable expert. Moreover, he was an immortal venerable himself. Who else in the realm of the gods had such an ability? All right, you can all disperse now. After the matter was settled, Lin Rei waved his hand to the crowd and dismissed them. When the crowd dispersed, only those who were named by Lin Rei were left in the Heavenly Star Palace, including Lin Yun. They all looked at Lin Rei curiously, making Lin Rei feel like an animal in a zoo. It was very uncomfortable to be stared at like that. All right. Stop looking. I asked you to stay because we'll be leaving soon. Get ready. As for you, Yun, I don't have anything to give you before I leave. After saying that, Lin Rei took out the cloud pagoda from the system. At the same time, the consciousness in the cloud pagoda was erased by Lin Rei. Yun, this is the cloud pagoda. You should know its function. Father's consciousness is no longer in the cloud pagoda. You can use it as long as you refine it. Chapter 468. Thank you, Father. How could Lin Yun not want such a treasure? Moreover, he knew that there were countless treasures in his father's phone. The moment he received the cloud pagoda, he sat down cross-legged and began to refine it. Seeing his son's actions, Lin Rei smiled and ignored him. All of you, protect Yun He here. Before he wakes up, remember not to let anyone disturb him. When he wakes up, give this jade slip to him. Tell him that this is the last thing I want to give him. I hope he can break through to the divine realm as soon as possible. He waved his hand towards the sky, and immediately, a black-robed Black Ops member appeared in front of Linley. Yes, this subordinate obeys. The Dark Department member carefully took the jade slip from Lin Rei's hand and went to Lin Yun's side. He released his cultivation and began to protect Lin Yun. Seeing his school flourish, seeing his son accomplish such feats, seeing the school he had single-handedly created become one of the major powers of the immortal realm, Linley felt very satisfied. Sigh, let's go. Relax yourselves. I'll send you to a place in a while. After that, try not to enter the area with the gray spiritual energy. Try your best to stay around it. That spiritual energy is not something you can absorb. Everything had been settled. Although Lin Rei was still reluctant to leave, there was no one here who could oppose him. Therefore, it was time to leave. Yes, we understand. Hearing Linley's words, everyone hurriedly nodded in agreement, and then relaxed their grip. In that instant, everyone felt their vision blur, and when they opened their eyes again, everything in front of them had changed. The grayish spiritual energy was in the air in front of them, and it was everywhere around them. The moment they saw the grayish spiritual energy, everyone felt the space suddenly become heavy, and there was a faint terrifying pressure pressing down on them from time to time. What's going on? The spiritual energy here is so strong. It can release spiritual energy on its own. This is the first time I've seen spiritual energy. At this moment, everyone was shocked. They were shocked by the high-level spiritual energy and the spiritual energy that could release spiritual energy. Alright, all of you remember what I said. Don't go near the spiritual chi, or else you won't even know how you died. As the owner of the system, how could Lin Rei not know about the situation in the system? Although he had reminded them before, Lin Rei reminded them again because there was more than just chaotic energy here. Among them, there were two unfathomable experts who struck fear into his heart. Yes, we will obey your orders. Lin Rei's voice suddenly sounded, causing everyone's bodies to quickly recover. They immediately sat down on the ground and began to cultivate. Hee. Looking at Lin Rei, who had already entered seclusion, Lin Rei withdrew his consciousness from the system. At this moment, in the entire Tianshan Palace, apart from the person sitting on the ground refining the cloud pagoda and the person guarding him, there was only him and his younger brother, Lin Tian. Let's go. We'll settle the matter in the lower realm and then we can truly leave. There's nothing left for us to do in the mortal world. The great Tao is heartless, but cultivators can't be heartless. After speaking to the two, Lin Rei took out the teleportation array from the system and threw it on the ground. Boom. Rumble. Rumble. A black vortex appeared on the ground. The moment the vortex appeared, the entire Tianshan Palace began to tremble violently. Lin Rei vaguely felt that the Tianshan Palace couldn't withstand the energy of the vortex and was about to collapse. This made him very surprised. No, we can't stay here for long. The two of you follow behind me. Don't panic. Remember to use your cultivation along the way. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. After instructing the two of them, Linley took a single step forward, leaping into the black vortex and disappearing. Whoosh. Whoosh. The moment Lin Rei disappeared, two figures entered the black vortex. When the person guarding Lin Yun saw this, his eyes were filled with shock. However, he didn't move in the slightest and continued to guard Lin Yun. As for the black vortex, in the instant that Linley's group of three entered, the black vortex automatically closed. At the same time, the trembling of the heavenly palace disappeared, but at the place where the vortex had appeared, a crack appeared. If Linley was present, he would definitely be stupefied. It must be understood that this was a deity-level artifact, but it had been so easily destroyed by a single whirlpool. If Lin Rei saw this, he would be very distressed. Since then, the entire immortal realm returned to peace. No one dared to mention Lin Rei's name. They all knew that Lin Rei was the previous sect master of the Xuanzong sect and were very curious about the new sect master. In the eastern part of the profound sky continent, the central area of the forest mountain range was originally a place where demonic beasts roared continuously. However, at this moment, a strange scene appeared. All the demonic beasts submitted and crawled on the ground. They were at a loss and looked up at the sky with fear. It was as if there was something up there that made them feel like death. Boom! Suddenly, a black whirlpool appeared in the sky without a sound. The pressure then spread out in all directions with this whirlpool as the center. Whoosh, whoosh, the vortex opened and two figures rushed out in a sorry state. The beautiful woman fell to the ground without any warning and had an intimate contact with the ground. Ouch, what's going on? A young man hurriedly got up from the ground and looked angry. There was something similar to demonic beast feces on his face. The strange smell was so strong that the young man couldn't stand it. When the other young man saw this scene, he immediately got up from the ground. He pinched his nose and frowned. He took 2 steps to the side, as if he wanted to distance himself from the other young man. Damn, the young man also felt something strange. He touched his face and sniffed. Instantly, his eyes rolled back and he lay on the ground. His legs began to twitch. Ha ha ha, when the other young man saw this scene, he seemed to be very happy. He laughed heartily and didn't have the slightest intention to hide it. Whoosh, all of a sudden, another figure rushed out of the vortex. But this time, the person didn't land on the ground. Instead, he made a 360-degree rotation in the air and stepped into the void as if he was walking on flat ground. At the same time, the black vortex in the sky closed up the moment the man appeared and disappeared without a trace. The man stepped into the void and looked at the familiar surroundings. Then, he took in a deep breath and calmed himself down. Sen Tian, I, Lin Rei, am finally back. I didn't expect us to be so fated. Back then, I was chased to death by those little bastards. If it wasn't for Hong. All of a sudden, a gorgeous figure that he yearned for appeared in his mind. Then, the man stopped his imagination and shifted his gaze to the man lying on the ground with his eyes rolled back. Lin Rei looked at him curiously and wanted to get closer. But as soon as he got closer, a pungent stench filled his nose. In an instant, Lin Rei came to a halt and retreated quickly with a look of disdain. Ha ha ha, even young master despises you. What's this? You're so lucky. Ha ha ha, at this moment, the young men who followed Lin Rei back saw Lin Rei's appearance and started mocking the man lying on the ground. Seeing that everyone was behaving in such a manner, the male emperor stood up from the ground and looked at Lin Tian with a deflated expression. He was about to say a single word but was unable to say anything else. Fine, just you wait. See how I'll deal with you later. Having said that, the man flipped his hand and a dazzling magical equipment appeared in his hand. Then, he formed a seal and the equipment in his hand turned into a ray of golden light that disappeared from his hand. At the same time, the originally filthy male emperor instantly became bright and beautiful. The clothes that were previously in his hands still appeared on the male emperor's body. The embarrassing look from before disappeared in an instant. He became so noble that no one could catch up to him. Alright, stop fooling around. Don't forget why we came back here. Don't waste time because of such a small matter. Looking at the two of them laughing mischievously, Lin Rei didn't say anything else and walked out of the forest alone. Although he hadn't returned for 100 years, according to his memory, a lot of changes had taken place here. Basically, the previous path had become either a cliff or a river. Along the way, all the beasts that saw Lin Rei prostrated themselves on the ground and didn't dare to act rashly. Even though their eyes were filled with resentment and they wanted to tear Lin Rei and the others apart, they didn't dare to do so. During this period of time, Lin Li's spiritual sense enveloped the entire forest mountain range. He discovered that there were several severely injured body integration stage demon beasts in the mountain range, and their vitality was slowly fading away. There was no hope for them to recover at all. The death aura emitted from their bodies made Lin Rei even more puzzled. One had to know that the lifespan of a monster was extremely long. Moreover, Lin Rei was a powerful being in the combination stage, so his lifespan was even longer. What's going on? Did something happen here? Why are combination stage powerhouses so severely injured? In this place where only those in the Mahayana realm can break through, it's really not easy for them to do this. Lin Rei didn't see how pitiful they were and went up to save them. This was the law of the world. The strong preyed on the weak and only the fittest survived. Chapter 469. Be careful later. Something terrible might have happened in Forest Sky. Many of the overlords here have been killed and some of the merged demonic beasts are seriously injured. Regarding such a matter, Lin Li had no choice but to warn them. Although their cultivation bases were still below the immortal plane and there were no forces that could threaten them, they had to be careful. This was something that Lin Li had always believed in. Furthermore, no matter where Lin Li was, there would always be a certain factor that would cause him to be unable to resolve something. Even if it was the following, he would still face it with caution. At the same time, he would never underestimate anyone, because once he did, he would not be far from death. Okay, got it. Lin Tian and the male emperor, who were brought out by Lin Rei, were naturally aware of the danger. Therefore, the moment they heard Lin Rei's words, their playful mood instantly disappeared and they began to be vigilant of their surroundings. Looking at Lin Tian and the male emperor, Lin Rei couldn't help but show a gratified expression. He chuckled and began to investigate seriously. Along the way, they saw many corpses. What made Lin Rei curious was that the way they died was very strange. Everyone knew that the most precious parts of demonic beasts were their fur, monster core, and some parts that could be used to refine spiritual weapons and elixirs. However, these dead demonic beasts didn't lose any of these things. Instead, they lost their souls. What's going on? Looking at such a strange scene, Lin Rei couldn't help but be curious. However, at this moment, the little dragon, who had disappeared before, reappeared. Hee, be careful. Although you're an immortal venerable, you still have to be careful. This cultivation method was very famous in the untainted land. It's also very evil. Cultivation method? At this moment, Lin Rei was no longer in the mood to care about the little dragon hiding his cultivation. Hearing his words, Lin Rei hurriedly asked anxiously, "What cultivation method?" "I don't know about such a cultivation method." "Are you kidding me? If you knew about it, why would you still need me?" Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon instantly burst out laughing. "However, you have to say that this cultivation method is somewhat similar to the devouring heaven art that you practice. The only thing that this cultivation method can't compare to the devouring heaven art is that it can only devour things like souls. For example, demonic beasts, humans, and all kinds of living creatures with souls." Hearing this, Lin Rei was stunned. At the same time, he felt a chill in his heart. Towards this cultivation method, Lin Rei hated it from the inside out. "What's the name?" It was a very simple sentence, but in Xiaolong's ears, it was indeed full of coldness. He didn't tease her anymore and immediately blurted out the name of the cultivation technique. Soul art, it should be at the honorable level. However, looking at the way these demonic beasts died and the souls left in their bodies, the person who obtained the soul art probably didn't have the complete version of the soul art and only a fragment of the soul art. Otherwise, not to mention the souls, even the entire corpse of the demonic beasts wouldn't be seen. Hee, venerable. Hearing the little dragon mention the level of the cultivation method, Lin Rei's eyes moved. He was immediately suppressed. The killing intent in his eyes instantly exploded. A terrifying pressure shot out from his body and instantly enveloped the entire forest mountain range. Oh, what? You thought of it? The little dragon was very clear about Lin Rei's thoughts. In this regard, Lin Rei could only express his helplessness. You're right. Although I don't think I'm a good person, keeping this kind of cultivation method will only bring disaster sooner or later. I might as well get it and seal it up so that it will never see the light of day again. He. Just as Lin Rei finished speaking, the little dragon chuckled. Instantly, Lin Rei's face flushed red and he evaded his gaze in embarrassment. All right, you don't have to pretend in front of me. Once you stick out your butt, I know what kind of *T you took. So, don't try to hide it from me a million times because my heart is in sync with yours. At this point, Lin Rei didn't continue speaking. Instead, he turned to Lin Tian and the male emperor and said, "Male brother, go home first. I'll give you a month's time. After a month, I'll wait for you here. At the same time, I have some matters to settle." When Lin Rei's words reached their ears, the male emperor was stunned for a moment before nodding his head in agreement. As for Lin Tian, he didn't say anything but his eyes were especially clear. All right, then Brother Lei, I'll take my leave first. The male emperor, who was already impatient, couldn't wait any longer after hearing Lin Rei's words. He immediately disappeared in a flash in front of Lin Rei and the little dragon. Aya, I knew you couldn't wait any longer. Why are you still following me here? Lin Rei couldn't help but laugh when he saw the male emperor's impatient look. At the side, Lin Tian couldn't help but ask, "Young master, are we going to the Lin family now?" Lin Rei was stunned by this question. However, there wasn't a trace of surprise in Lin Rei's eyes. Instead, they were filled with melancholy. Sigh. Yes, although I've cut off contact with them, they're still my family. How can I really forget them? With that, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. Immortal spiritual energy instantly enveloped Lin Tian and they disappeared in a flash. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that the moment they left, a figure with a sinister aura suddenly jumped down from a nearby tree. His eyes were filled with passion as he looked in the direction where Lin Rei disappeared. A hair-raising laughter suddenly rang out. If someone was here at this moment, they would definitely be scared out of their wits. I didn't expect such a powerful cultivator to appear here. Looks like I'll be able to have a good meal again. As he spoke, the man unconsciously touched his stomach with his hand, making a hungry gesture. If Lin Rei heard him say this again, he would definitely be stunned. This was because the aura revealed by this person was only at the early stage of the combination realm. However, he didn't even notice such a low level of cultivation. Whoosh! The moment he finished speaking, the man once again glanced in the direction Linley had left. Then, he disappeared from the forest mountain range with a few leaps and bounds. In the central region of the central region, the sun was rising. On the bustling streets of Tianxi City, a very well-dressed young man was walking on the street. He was eating a chicken drumstick happily and didn't care about the gazes of the people around him. He looked very funny. I haven't been back for a long time. I didn't expect this place to have changed so much. I wonder how my mother and father are doing. The young man was the male emperor who had separated from Lin Rei. After leaving Lin Rei, he couldn't wait any longer. It only took him half an hour to teleport back to his hometown, Tianxi City, which he had left when he was young. Chapter 470. After hundreds of years, this place had become a place where things remained the same but people had changed. Along the way, he did not recognize a single person. However, the young man also knew in his heart that the people of his generation should have become powerful experts. How could they be wandering around the streets for no reason? Sigh. With a sigh, the young man did not eat the drumstick in his mouth. When he thought of his previous feelings, he could not help but feel melancholy in his heart. Move. Move aside quickly. Suddenly, a hurried shout came from the front. Immediately, the young man recovered from his daze and raised his head to look ahead. At this moment, in front of him, a young storm leopard was rushing towards him. Furthermore, one could see that the storm leopard's body was covered in wounds. Without a doubt, this place was very close to the auction house. At a glance, it was obvious that it had run out from the auction house. As for the 1,000-year-old expert following behind the storm leopard, the young man did not care. He did not even look at him. His gaze turned to the storm leopard. The young man casually waved his hand, and the storm leopard, who was originally stumbling but still moving very quickly, was instantly dragged by an invisible force and flew straight towards the young man. Ao. Monster beasts were similar to humans. Other than the difference in their body structure, they were the same. They could cultivate and had thoughts. Therefore, when it felt that it was being captured without any resistance, a sense of danger caused it to panic a little, causing it to repeatedly roar. This action caused the eyes of the people on the bustling street to light up. Who else could do it so easily? Not to mention that this young monster beast was not their opponent. Just looking at the storm leopard's speed, they could not be very strong. It was even more impossible to capture it so easily. Regarding this, everyone looked at the young man with eyes full of worship. This was the worship of the strong. Hee, little guy, the emperor saw that you were pitiful and wanted to save you. Why are you unwilling? After the monster beast entered his arms and looking at the injured storm leopard, the young man said to it with a smile on his face. Then, he used his cultivation to begin healing the wounds in his arms. In an instant, the wounds that were originally so deep that the bones could be seen instantly healed under the young man's touch. The wounds quickly began to close up. Who are you? A young yet arrogant voice rang out. The young man did not even lift his head when he heard this voice. He continued to carefully treat the storm leopard in his arms. When the young man saw that his words were ignored, his self-esteem suddenly seemed to have received a 10,000-fold blow. He angrily began to threaten the young man. Do you know who I am? I am the young master of the Wuxia Trading Company. I advise you to give me Feng Yun Panther and let's pretend that nothing happened. Finally, when he heard the name Wuxia Trading Company, the young man's eyelids twitched. He raised his head and looked at the young man with great interest. Sizing up the little boy from head to toe, his brows furrowed tightly for a moment. From the boy's body, he couldn't see any trace of his family. You said you're from the Wuxia Trading Company? The young man's words made the young man overjoyed. In the young man's heart, he secretly thought that the young man was intimidated by his identity. Thus, he spoke even more arrogantly. That's right, I am from the Wuxia Trading Company. If you want to give me Feng Yun Panther, I will teach you a lesson. The young man's words fell into the young man's ears. For a moment, the young man's heart was filled with interest. He looked at the young man with great interest and said, You said you're the young master of the Wuxia Trading Company, but so am I. Tell me, should I listen to you or not? Wow, the young man's words stunned everyone present. Those who were not watching, those who were setting up stalls, and even the millennium-old man were stunned. Everyone's face was filled with suspicion, especially the self-proclaimed young master of the Wuxia Trading Company. In a moment, his expression changed rapidly, as if he was defeated. The young man saw the hope of many people around him. He didn't care about their actions at all. Fine. Kid, you're courting death, so don't blame me. At this moment, the young man did not argue. Instead, he waved his hand in the air. Suddenly, a few figures appeared in front of everyone. Quick, look, isn't that Dong Qin? Yes, the genius of the Dong family's collateral branch. Sigh, he's good. Although he's cultivated to such a high level, in the end, he's still a hired thug. That's right. If it weren't for that incident 100 years ago, I'm afraid that the Dong family would still be the Dong family's direct descendant, and Dong Qing wouldn't have ended up like this. In a moment, the moment the few people appeared, the surrounding people's eyes were sharp. They immediately recognized a particularly famous young man from the Dong family. Little brother? The moment the young man appeared, the excited male emperor frowned. He saw a figure that he missed dearly. No, he's not. After observing for a while, the young man realized that the young man who appeared was not his little brother at all. It was just that the young man's appearance and temperament were similar to his little brother. Quick, catch him for me. I want him alive, I want him alive. The young man in front of him was almost shouting. His face was very ferocious. When the young man saw this scene, he was immediately disappointed. I'm very disappointed that the Dong family has a young master like you. I didn't expect that the Dong family would decline after 100 years. Since that's the case, there's no need to keep you alive. After saying that, the young man did not wait for the young man who looked like his little brother to make a move. He took a step forward, and the entire city trembled instantly. Rumble. Rumble. At the same time, the place where Lin Rei's foot was stepping on began to crack. Quick. Don't run, quick. When the strange scene appeared, the surrounding people scattered at once. They wanted to rush to the safe secret place. At this moment, they were using all their strength. Their speed was several times faster than before. Crack. Crack. The cracking sounds became louder and louder. Everyone was panicking. They did not expect that this unknown young man in luxurious clothes was actually a powerful cultivator. Even the young man who started the trouble began to regret. The young man was no longer like before. He sat on the ground and began to cry. Moreover, what was even more unbearable was that the area between the young man's legs was already covered in that yellow and white thing from before. At this moment, looking at the young man's appearance, the young man began to wonder if this young man was actually a descendant of the Li family. During this process, his eyes lit up. The person who was called Dong Qing by the passers-by had been standing there the whole time. When she encountered this kind of situation, her beautiful eyes were filled with fear. Instead, she looked at him with a look of helplessness. TSK, how can this be? Why is this young man's aura more and more similar to my little brother's? Looking at the young man was full of doubts. After thinking for a while, he could not explain clearly. Then, the young man withdrew his cultivation and did not make things difficult for them. This is the disaster of not respecting your elders. Who would have thought that in the hundreds of years since the emperor's return, the Dong family would have someone as arrogant and despotic as you? Damn, the Dong family should change their cards. After saying this, the young man did not waste any more time. Instead, he took a step forward and disappeared with the Fengyan leopard in his arms. Everything returned to normal. The young man was still sitting on the ground in panic. His legs were weak and he did not dare to get up. As for the young man's words, the young man did not hear them at all. However, Dong Qing, who was next to him, heard them clearly. At the same time, her heart was in turmoil. Could it be that he's back? After hearing the young man's words, Dong Qing seemed to think of a family legend. However, just as she thought of this, she shook her head and denied it. No, that person hasn't appeared for 800 years. Although this was what she thought, she was very excited. She did not stay outside. Instead, she turned around and rushed towards the Wuxia trading company not far away. At this moment, in the Dong family, the young man arrived at the Wuxia trading company without any effort. When he saw that the family that he had been thinking about day and night had become something that he did not recognize, he was very upset. How could this be? Looking at the luxurious surroundings, the young man was a little disgusted. According to his father's principle, he had always advocated frugality. Even if his family was not ordinary, he would not allow his family members to be arrogant, despotic, and pretentious. However, everything changed when he appeared again. Who is trespassing on the Dong family's land? Just as the young man was in a daze, a voice suddenly rang out and pulled the young man back to reality. When I looked up, I saw a man in luxurious clothes with a disgusting oily face. Lin Rei could not help but laugh. The Emperor, Dong Xiaonan. In short, he did not need to hide his identity from the Dong family. Besides, he had come here to take Dong Li's family away. Dong, what? When he heard the young man's name, he was confused. However, when he recalled that there was a young master 800 years ago, he was shocked. He looked at the young man warily and said in a cold and murderous tone. Dong Xiaonan, the young master of the Dong family 800 years ago. When the young man heard his identity, the young man nodded in agreement. Hiss. After confirming that there was no mistake, the young man gasped. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. He looked like he wanted to kill Dong Li. When the young man realized this, he frowned. The young man was shocked by the young man's reaction. A bad feeling arose in his heart. Boom! Instantly, the young man did not waste his time. His divine sense rushed out of his body and scanned the entire Dong family from top to bottom. The more he searched, the more shocked he was. At the same time, he became anxious. During his search, he could not find any trace of his parents. The more he searched, the more frightened he became. At this moment, his murderous intent surged out involuntarily. Suddenly, when the young man was extremely disappointed, 3 figures and 4 figures appeared in his mind. At this moment, tears flowed out of his eyes uncontrollably. His murderous intent exploded. It was so strong that the entire city was enveloped by the young man's murderous intent. In the entire city, when everyone felt this murderous intent, they all lay down on the ground. It was not because they wanted to, but because this murderous intent was so strong that they were suppressed involuntarily. You are so good. How dare you treat the emperor's family like this? You should all be killed. The young man recognized 3 of the 4 figures in his mind. They were his parents and his younger brother, whom he had been thinking about day and night. As for the young woman, she looked very extraordinary. She must be his sister-in-law. However, what made it hard for the young man to accept was that at this moment, all of their shoulder blades were locked. Although they had lost their cultivation, the young man could still feel a faint spiritual energy. This spiritual energy was being emitted from his younger brother's body. At this moment, the young man could not bear it anymore. He teleported to the dungeon where his parents were locked up. Father, mother, I'm late. With a plop, the instant they arrived at the dungeon, the male brother knelt on the ground and said to his parents with a trembling voice. When the 4 injured men heard the young man's voice, they frowned and sneered without even raising their heads. Ha! Ha ha, I didn't expect you to be so shameless. You even used the name of my dead son. Do you think this is the same as finding the Wu Bong Trading Company's seal? Do you think you can use the Dong family's shadow guards just like that? Ha 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 ha, dream on. Even if my entire family dies here, I will not let the shadow guards be destroyed by you. Puff. As soon as he finished speaking, he spat out a mouthful of blood, which landed directly on the young man's body. Father, how are you? The young man completely lost his mind when he felt the heat from the blood. He came to the old man's side in an instant and injected a stream of pure immortal qi into the old man's body. This situation happened so suddenly that the old woman, middle-aged man, and middle-aged woman all raised their heads and came to the old man's side and surrounded him. However, the young man's actions were all seen by the 3 people. Instantly, they raised their eyebrows and looked up. When they saw the young man's real appearance, the old woman and middle-aged man were stunned on the spot. Their eyes were filled with disbelief as they looked at the person in front of them, who they had imagined countless times. At this moment, he really appeared in front of them. Father, how are you? At this moment, the young man's face was gloomy because he felt that his father's body was full of holes. Moreover, he had been poisoned by a slow-acting poison. This poison would not kill the person immediately, but it would devour the person's soul until it was completely devoured. Ahem. Ahem. I'm fine. He coughed softly and turned around. When he saw the young man's real appearance, his body trembled slightly and tears gushed out of his eyes uncontrollably. I'm back. Chapter 471. The words "I'm back" contained too many feelings for his parents and younger brother, so much so that the moment he said those words, the young man instantly burst into tears and started crying. As family members who had not seen each other for more than 100 years, the four of them hugged each other and began to cry. This sentence was not over yet. The woman on the side was very excited when she saw this scene. She was happy for her husband and her in-laws. Time passed little by little. No one knew how long they cried, but they stopped when they seemed to be unable to cry anymore. The four of them separated. Father Dong Wen, Mother Kaiyu, and brother Dong Tiancheng all looked at the young man, waiting for an explanation. Let's talk about this later. I wanted to take you away when I came back this time, but I didn't expect you to be hurt like this. As he spoke, the young man had the intention to kill. He originally just wanted to take his family away, but now it was not so simple. Alas. Yes, I didn't expect that they would do this as a member of the Dong family. Looking at his son's appearance, Dong Wen knew that his long-lost son had the intention to kill. But when he thought that this was a business that he had built single-handedly, he could not bear to let it go to waste. Forget it, young man. They didn't kill me. Since this is the case, we don't have to go too far. Just teach them a little lesson. Well, yes, big brother. After all, this is the family that father founded. If it's destroyed like this, then, okay, I know. Of course, the young man understood his father and brother's words. The moment his brother Dong Tiancheng finished speaking, he directly interrupted and said, I know what you mean. Don't worry, I won't do anything to the Dong family, but those who hurt you are destined not to be forgiven. At this point, Dong Wen also knew that this was the only way, so he did not stop them. After all, they did go too far. Father, I have already healed your injuries. As for your cultivation, I can't do that. But when I see Brother Lei, I will plead with him to help you recover your cultivation. As he spoke, the young man's eyes could not help but moisten again. When he thought of the suffering his father and family had suffered for so many years, he could not help but want to kill everyone in the Dong family. Okay. Dong Wen nodded his head excitedly and agreed. Alright, let's go. Without waiting for them to react, a surge of immortal qi wrapped around them and dragged them into the air. Instantly, the four of them were shocked. This was the first time they had seen such a miraculous power. Swish. In the eyes of Dong Wen and the other three, before they could say anything, the scene before them instantly changed. When they looked again, the cell that had imprisoned them for 100 years was finally gone. Hiss, Dong Wen couldn't help sucking in a breath of cold air when he saw this. His eyes widened in disbelief. What kind of strength is this? It's so powerful. It's much more powerful than the teleportation of a body integration realm cultivator. That's right. I didn't expect Big Brother to be so powerful after disappearing for so many years. Sigh. Hearing the family's discussion, the young man didn't say anything. He just smiled and released a wave of pressure to suppress everyone in the Dong family. Puff. Puff. The pressure was so powerful that even a heaven immortal expert couldn't withstand it, let alone a cultivator who hadn't even reached the Mahayana realm. The moment the young man released his pressure, the cultivation of all the cultivators in the Dong family flew away. Some of them couldn't withstand the pressure and died suddenly. The male emperor, who had done all this last night, sneered and was about to leave. At this moment, Dong Tiancheng, who was in the restriction formed by the immortal Qi, suddenly shouted. Big brother, you can't leave yet. I have to take my son with me. What, son? The male emperor, who was about to leave, stopped abruptly when he heard his younger brother's words. At the same time, a strange feeling arose in his heart. I didn't expect my younger brother to have a descendant after not seeing him for hundreds of years. Haha. The male emperor smiled and asked, what's your son's name? What does he look like? When Dong Tiancheng heard this, he immediately described his son's appearance to his elder brother. However, after Dong Tiancheng's description, the younger brother felt that the son in his younger brother's mouth seemed to be the young man who he was very close to. Could it be? The male emperor, who had thought of something, instantly released his divine sense. Instantly, the panoramic view of the entire city appeared in his mind. I found him. Finally, Dong Qing, who was not far away from the Dong family, was rushing towards them. After a while, under the detection of the young man's divine sense, Dong Qing moved quickly and arrived at the entrance of the Dong family. This young man is not bad. Looking at his nephew, the young man revealed an imperceptible smile. Then, he strode towards the entrance of the Dong family and bumped into Dong Qing. Son! Dong Tiancheng shouted. Not far away, Dong Qing, who looked anxious, heard his father's shout. When he looked up, he saw his father and mother floating in the air. Below them was the mysterious powerhouse he had seen before. Dong Qing was very confused and shocked. However, at this moment, Dong Qing seemed to have understood something. Let's go. Before Dong Qing could react, the young man waved his hand and Dong Qing appeared beside Dong Tiancheng. At the same time, the scene in the depths of the Dong family disappeared. In the sky above the Lin family in the eastern martial city, Lin Rei was standing in the void. However, his divine sense had penetrated into the Lin family. Alas! Was it wrong to destroy his cultivation back then? The first thing he did when he arrived here was to go to the void of the Lin family. He released his divine sense to explore the Lin family. He wanted to see his relatives, but there was no one missing. Yes, when you came back, you destroyed my grandfather's cultivation. It has been more than 800 years. An ordinary person can only survive for 100 years, let alone 800 years. Lin Tian, who was beside him, saw Lin Rei's appearance and immediately agreed. Yes, maybe I am thinking too much. However, I only destroyed his cultivation back then. I didn't destroy my eldest brother's cultivation. Why? Before he had left, he had investigated his elder brother's cultivation level and aptitude. Even if the Lin family's cultivation method wasn't that great, based on his aptitude, he should be able to live through 800 years. However, there wasn't even a trace of him here. Lin Li was very disappointed. Looking at the young master's disappointed expression, Lin Tian did not say anything. Instead, he quietly watched from the side. After a moment of silence, Lin Rei finally reorganized his emotions. Then, he said to Lin Tian, let's go. Since there is no one I am waiting for here, let's leave. With that, Lin Rei took a step forward. Looking at Lin Rei's back, Lin Tian hurriedly chased after him. Boy, be careful later. People who have the soul art are not ordinary. If possible, keep them for your own use. This kind of person is most suitable to help you solve the obstacles in front of you in the future. Along the way, the little dragon's voice sounded. But Lin Rei was really tempted by this suggestion. Tisk, this is also a good idea. Lin Rei pondered for a moment. Then, he spoke again. When we reach the forest sky, find the person who has the soul art and use the soul controlling pill to keep them for our own use. PFFF. Lin Li had just finished speaking when he suddenly heard Xiaolong's merciless mocking laughter. Lin Li was stunned, not knowing what to make of it. What are you laughing at? I'm laughing at you. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon casually said, I really don't know if you are really stupid or just faking it. People who cultivate the soul art specialize in absorbing other people's souls. Tell me, how can such a thing have a soul, let alone a soul? Upon hearing the little dragon's explanation, Lin Rei didn't know what to say for a moment. He had only heard about the soul art from the little dragon, so he didn't know anything about it. Then how do you think I should subdue it? If the soul-controlling pill doesn't work, don't tell me you're telling me to use my sincerity to subdue it. Regarding this matter, Lin Rei felt a huge headache. For a person who didn't walk on the path of soul and soul, they couldn't be called a human anymore. They were just like the zombie race who transcended the 6 paths and didn't belong to the 5 elements. But Lin Rei was sure that since the little dragon mentioned this method, it meant that he definitely had a way to subdue them. Heh, boy, learn more. As expected, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei smiled knowingly and pricked up his ears to listen carefully. Although such a person doesn't have a soul, you can control their physical body. A physical body that can fuse with so many souls definitely isn't an ordinary existence. Control their physical body? Are you sure? Lin Rei couldn't understand the little dragon's words. He had heard of controlling souls before, but to control a physical body without a soul, this, Tendo Seed Demon Technique, Venerable Level Cultivation Technique. When the Seed Demon appears, chaos will begin. When the Seed Demon appears, Tao will perish. Upon hearing the little dragon's profound words, Lin Rei couldn't help but roll his eyes at him. But frankly speaking, Lin Rei was rather tempted by this venerable level cultivation technique. Not for any other reason, but because it was a venerable level cultivation technique. TSK, don't underestimate this cultivation technique. Although it doesn't increase one's cultivation or double one's attack, if it works well, you have to believe that the entire divine world will be destroyed. As soon as the little dragon said this, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. This was the first time he heard of a venerable level cultivation technique that didn't increase one's cultivation or double one's attack. Oh, tell me about it. Looking at Lin Rei's indifferent expression, the little dragon was furious for a moment. Then, he explained the origin of the Tendo Seed Demon Technique to Lin Rei. Chapter 472. This skill book had a great origin and the system didn't know who it belonged to. Anyway, this skill book could solve the problem of your blindness. But, looking at the little dragon's treacherous expression, Lin Rei knew that there was no such thing as a free lunch in this world, so, alright, you just want something. Say it, what do you want this time, as long as I have it? Sure enough, after hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon was instantly delighted and immediately stated its conditions. 1 million exchange points, as usual, I'll owe you first. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry. After hearing Xiaolong's conditions, Lin Li didn't even have time to react. His body trembled, and he nearly fell from the sky. Aren't you embarrassed? Ah. How dare you? However, when Lin Rei almost died from anger after hearing the little dragon's words, the little dragon's voice sounded again. And, what, there's more. This time, Lin Rei couldn't stay calm. If it was a venerable level skill book that cost 1 million, Lin Rei could barely endure it. But now, it wasn't over. For a moment, Lin Rei was so astonished that he had the urge to strangle the little dragon. Don't be nervous. He was already mentally prepared for Lin Rei's actions. Anyway, it was always like this and he was used to it. In addition to the 1 million exchange points, there's also 500,000 reputation points and you can ascend to the divine realm within a year. This time, Lin Rei didn't say anything. It wasn't that he didn't want to tell the little dragon, but he didn't have the courage. At this moment, Lin Rei was a little regretful. He regretted accepting the person who cultivated the soul art for his own use. But the little dragon's words had indeed moved him. Alright, you're really something. 1,500,000 reputation points and you can ascend to the divine realm within a year. You've earned a lot from this deal, right? At this point, Lin Rei wanted to retreat, but it was too late. Although there was a flat road behind him, it was no longer suitable for him. Although there was a bottomless abyss in front of him, Lin Rei still decided to jump down and explore the bottom of the abyss. Okay, it's your condition just now, but you have to promise me that you can only use the 1.5 million yuan when I want to give it to you. Otherwise, I'd rather not make this deal. Although he wasn't the banker, at least he had a trump card in his hand. Therefore, Lin Rei believed that Little Dragon would agree to this condition. Alright, I promise you. The Little Dragon was overjoyed at the successful transaction. At this moment, the Little Dragon couldn't help but reveal a sinister smile. F***ck, I've been scammed again. In this regard, Lin Rei was very helpless. No matter how much experience he had, he was no match for the Little Dragon, this old thing who had lived for who knew how many years. Here, Tendo Demonic Seed Technique. Without waiting for Lin Rei to react, the stupid Jin Su appeared in front of Lin Rei. The Jin Su flickered with a faint light that made one's heart palpitate. Looking at the technique, Lin Rei smiled bitterly and said to himself, 1,500,000. Just to think about it, the Jin Su spent 1,500,000 on me. I was still well off, but now it slapped me back to the war period before liberation. With that, Lin Rei grabbed the Jin Su. Immediately, his consciousness returned to his body and his body that was flying away stopped. At this time, Lin Tian, who was following Lin Rei, also stopped beside Lin Rei when he saw Lin Rei stop. He asked puzzledly, "Young master, what are you doing?" "I'm not leaving." Looking at the nearby Lin Tian, Lin Li said, "Young master, I'm going to train in a certain technique. Later, I'll find a random cave. Stand guard for me. Remember, don't let anyone disturb me." With that, Lin Rei instantly released his cultivation. Boundless immortal spiritual energy wrapped around Lin Tian and they disappeared in an instant. Although he was somewhat puzzled by his young master's actions, he would unconditionally obey everything he said. Even if Lin Rei asked him to commit suicide, he would do it without hesitation. On top of a tall mountain not far away, a figure appeared. He stretched out his hand and clenched it into a fist. He gathered his immortal chi and punched the stone wall in front of him. Boom! The loud sound disappeared as quickly as it appeared. At this moment, a huge cave appeared in the incomparably intact stone wall. However, what gave Lin Rei a headache was that he didn't control his strength well and directly punched through the mountain. Lin Rei was helpless about this. Moreover, he had already suppressed his strength. He didn't expect that in the end, this would still happen. Forget it, I don't care. I'll find a place to practice first. With that, Lin Rei walked into the cave and casually threw a formation to the other side of the cave. Then, he said to Lin Tian, "Little Tian, guard me. Remember, kill trespassers without mercy." "Yes, young master." Hearing Lin Rei's order, Lin Tian immediately went to the entrance of the cave and sat down cross-legged to guard Lin Rei. Haha. Looking at Lin Tian's appearance, Lin Rei laughed. He didn't waste any time and directly sat down cross-legged. Jin Su was instantly taken out by Lin Rei's system. A tyrannical aura instantly stirred the surrounding space. Yo! Yo yo! As soon as this phenomenon appeared, Lin Rei was so frightened that he instantly put Jin Su away. Fortunately, this fluctuation wasn't detected by Lin Tian, which could be considered a blessing in disguise. "Huh, kid, I'm afraid you're the only one in this world who dares to do this." At this moment, the little dragon's voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei's face darkened as he said to the little dragon, "You still have the nerve to gloat. It's all your fault for not telling me." "Huh, yes, yes, yes. It's my fault, okay?" Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon didn't argue with him. Instead, it disappeared the moment it finished speaking. Humph. A cold snort came from Lin Rei's mouth. Then, with a wave of his hand, a king-level sealing formation appeared. After sealing everything in the surroundings, Lin Rei was relieved. I don't believe this won't work. After saying that, Lin Rei took Jin Su out again. This time, the situation was different. Lin Rei smiled. Phew, Lin Rei took a deep breath and closed his eyes. His divine sense instantly rushed out and entered Jin Su. Boom, kacha, rumble, ah. Let me out, thunder rumbled and screams echoed. At this moment, Lin Rei found it hard to believe that the Jin Su was completely different from the previous cultivation method, where celestial sounds were faintly discernible and scenes that made people forget to leave. However, it was the complete opposite here. It was filled with a tyrannical aura. Living souls flew around in the air and screamed from time to time. Hiss. Oh my God. Even Lin Rei couldn't help but be shocked after seeing this scene. His hair stood on end. This was simply hell. Moreover, it was the kind of 18 levels of hell. Tendo cycle, Tao seed, palace scripture, divine soul, capture the flag. Tendo reversible, 3,000 great Taos, fleshly body, possession. Suddenly, 2 words, like the sound of the great Tao, suddenly rang out. Instantly, Lin Li was stunned. It was as though he had entered a state of epiphany. He stood there stupidly, not moving at all, as though he had been struck dumb. Tendo cycle, Tendo reversible? The cycle of the Tao of the heavens. 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 Ha ha ha, Tendo reversible, my life is my own, not the heavens. With the dragon spear in my hand, the world is mine. After an indeterminate amount of time, Lin Rei's eyes suddenly flashed with a domineering aura that was different from before. The souls that had been hovering around him suddenly scattered. Tendo reversible, great Tao even more reversible, Tendo spore devil, soul seed as main, seed as auxiliary, control myriad worlds, play occasionally. These words suddenly rang out. Instantly, Lin Li felt as though he wanted to soar into the heavens. Right at this moment, one mysterious rune after another appeared, transforming into a divine chain that instantly shot into Lin Li's head. As time passed, the divine chain slowly sank into Lin Li's mind, until it finally disappeared. The moment all the runes entered Lin Li's mind, the originally breathtaking golden space instantly lost its original luster and became very desolate. It no longer had the previous scene. Ding dong. Congratulations to host for learning the first level of the Tendo Spore Devil magic, Spore Devil. Ding dong. The first level of the Spore Devil magic can release 3 seeds into the body of the host's chosen prey. The system's voice suddenly sounded, causing Lin Rei to laugh. Haha, 3 times? 3 times is not bad, it's better than nothing. Lin Rei was a person who knew how to be content with 3 chances. He then left the space of the golden strategy space. Phew, Lin Rei, who had returned to his original body, sighed softly. When he opened his eyes, the cave was already dark and the moon was hanging in the sky. It was very beautiful. I didn't expect to have cultivated for a day. Looking at Lin Tian, who was still guarding him at the door, Lin Rei stood up and walked towards Lin Tian. At this moment, sensing the situation in the cave, Today came back to his senses. When he saw that Lin Rei had woken up, he quickly stood up and said to Lin Rei, "Young master, you're finally awake. The male emperor has been sending messages asking where you are for the past 2 days." How many days? Deciphering the information from Lin Tian's words made Lin Rei stunned for a moment. How many days did you say I've been cultivating in the cave? Lin Rei asked in disbelief. Yes, it has been 5 days since young master went into seclusion. After hearing the exact time, Lin Rei didn't say anything. He was secretly shocked. He didn't expect to stay in the golden strategy space for 5 days. Oh, by the way, you said the male emperor sent a message? Lin Rei, who had come back to his senses, suddenly thought of something and asked. Yes, and it seems to be very urgent. So far, he has sent 5 messages. On average, 1 message per day. Just like that. Chapter 473. Lin Rei, who understood the situation, did not stay any longer. He immediately said, "Let's go. Since you're so anxious, you might have encountered some trouble." Okay. After saying that, the two of them exchanged glances. Then, they turned into streams of light and disappeared into the sky. At this moment, the man's family had arrived at the entrance of Sentian. They had been trying to contact Lin Rei for the past few days, but they could not get in touch with him. What should we do? I thought we could just heal his injuries. I didn't expect father to be poisoned. On the second day after the man arrived at Sentian, Dongwen, who had been in a deep sleep, did not wake up. Furthermore, his aura was getting weaker and weaker. As time passed, Dongwen's aura had weakened to the point that the man was afraid. During the past 5 days, the man had tried to use his cultivation to help his father stabilize the poison. However, he did not expect the poison to be able to absorb the spiritual energy of the immortal qi. As the immortal qi increased, the poison was nourished to an uncontrollable level by the man. During these past few days, as an emperor-level alchemist, he had become all his hope. "Man, how is it? Have you contacted that person?" Just as the man was getting anxious, a weak voice that made the man's heart ache sounded in his ears. No. Perhaps Brother Lei has something important to do. However, I believe him. As long as Brother Lei sees my message, he will definitely rush over. I believe in him. Tisk, if he wanted to come, he would have come long ago. How could he not be here now? The male emperor, who was already anxious, was furious when he heard his brother speak of Lin Rei in such a way. He could not help but release a murderous aura. Shut up. An angry roar with a majestic murderous aura instantly caused the entire space to freeze. The surrounding temperature also began to drop due to the man's murderous aura. At the same time, the surrounding flowers and trees began to wither the moment they sensed the murderous aura. Hiss, everyone was shocked when they saw this. This was because they had never seen such a thing before. It could be said that they had never expected such a thing to happen. That was not all. When Dong Tiancheng sensed the killing intent from his big brother, he was shocked. Then, his imposing manner disappeared. "Let me tell you, Brother Lei is not someone you can talk about. If you weren't my brother, you would be a dead man by now." Although the young man quickly said this, he actually thought so in his heart. He had always been very touched by Lin Rei. If it weren't for him, he probably wouldn't have such achievements in his life. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to live for a few years. Then, he wouldn't have been able to become the immortal emperor of the immortal world. I know, I won't do it again. Dong Tiancheng's weak voice sounded, which reduced the anger in the young man's heart. However, he was greatly disappointed by his younger brother's actions just now. "Alright, as long as you don't do that in the future, it'll be fine. This is only because it's me. If it were any other disciple of Brother Lei, I'm afraid you would have died long ago. You probably wouldn't even have the chance to reincarnate." However, what the young man didn't know was that when he was reprimanding his younger brother, Lin Rei had already arrived at a place 10 meters away. "Hee, this kid, what are you talking about? Am I that kind of person?" Listening to the young man's words, Lin Rei wanted to cry and laugh at the same time. He didn't understand why the young man had such an evaluation of him in his heart. "Well, what you said is very pertinent. If it were me, if he said such things, I'm afraid he would have died long ago." At this time, Lin Tian, who was following beside him, spoke. His tone was full of killing intent. It was obvious that he really wanted to kill. Alright, why bother? He's just a kid, there's no need to be so serious. After saying that, he smiled at Lin Tian and walked towards the young man. However, Lin Tian didn't do the same. His killing intent was still leaking out from his body as he followed behind Lin Rei. However, his gaze was fixed on Dong Tiancheng, who was beside the young man, and he looked like he wanted to kill him. The young man was still immersed in the atmosphere when he sensed someone approaching. He turned around and saw Lin Rei and Lin Tian appear. "Brother Lei, you're here." When the young man saw Lin Rei again, he stood aside respectfully and nodded at Lin Rei. After nodding at Lin Rei, he asked, "By the way, young man, why are you looking for me in such a hurry?" The young man was about to speak, but after hearing Xiao Xing's question, he immediately said excitedly, "Brother Lei, please save my father. He's been poisoned, and this poison, In an instant, the young man told him everything about his father's condition. He didn't dare to leave out anything because this concerned his father's life. "Oh, so that's what happened." After hearing the young man's words, Lin Rei frowned and nodded. Then, he came to Dong Wen's side, squatted down, and entered Dong Wen's body with immortal qi to check. Time passed little by little. Lin Rei's check was finally coming to an end. At this moment, Lin Rei's brows were relaxed and he looked relaxed. Done. Finally, after removing his hand from Dong Wen's body, he stood up and came to the young man's side. He said, "I know about Uncle's poison. Actually, it's not poison at all." "What, it's not poison?" Hearing Lin Rei's words, the young man was stunned. He didn't know what Lin Rei meant. It's not poison. It's a type of parasite. Moreover, this parasite is very domineering. It's called the spirit-devouring parasite. Looking at the young man's frown, Lin Rei didn't buy any more information and directly told him the exact situation. The spirit-devouring parasite is a type of parasite that feeds on spiritual qi. However, its unique characteristic is that after the host's spiritual qi is completely devoured, it will devour everything related to spiritual qi, including the spiritual roots. So your father's condition. At this point, Lin Li didn't say anything else, because there was no need to say anything else. Saying anything else would just be a waste of time. "Brother Lei, then my father's parasite poison is still, it's fine. The parasite poison is gone. However, your father is still very weak and needs to rest for a while. Other than that, there's nothing else. But fortunately, your father's spiritual roots weren't devoured by the parasite. So, if he cultivates again, he can still achieve something." With that, Lin Rei left with Lin Tian. What he wanted to do the most now was to capture the person who cultivated the soul mantra. As for the young man, he believed that with the young man around, nothing would be a problem. At this moment, when the male emperor heard that his father was fine, he was very excited. He originally wanted to leave with Lin Rei, but seeing that Lin Rei didn't have that intention, he gave up. He turned around and went to his father's side to take care of him. As for Lin Rei, there was no need to ask. After separating from the male emperor, Lin Rei brought Lin Tian and flew towards the depths of the forest sky. Along the way, Lin Rei released all of his 5 senses. He didn't want to let go of the person who cultivated the soul mantra because of his negligence. Kid, don't waste your time. Your 5 senses can deal with ordinary people. But if you want to use them to find that person, tsk. Suddenly, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei came to a halt and flew into the air. At this moment, his consciousness had already entered the system. Why, the 5 senses are. When Lin Rei was about to ask the little dragon beat him to it. The soul mantra isn't as simple as you think. Apart from not having a soul, the most important thing is that it isn't afraid of any detection from the 5 senses. F*ck, is it that awesome? Hearing Xiaolong's words, Lin Li was speechless for a moment. They thought that they were already the best at cheating. They didn't expect that such a person would appear, and this person was even someone they couldn't do anything about. Heh, but there is a way that you can find. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei focused all of his attention on him. That is based on your feelings. After hearing this method, Lin Rei didn't want to say anything else. Based on feelings? Is this bullshit? Seeing that the little dragon didn't have any good ideas, Lin Rei didn't hesitate to exit the system and return to his physical body. Sigh. What are you going to do? After stopping talking about the person who cultivated the soul mantra, Lin Rei was like a deflated balloon and couldn't muster up any energy. Why, young master, actually, there is a way to catch that person. Lin Tian, who had always been by Lin Rei's side, naturally knew about Lin Rei's current state. As for Lin Rei, the reason why he brought Lin Tian along was that he was Lin Tian's only family in this world. However, he didn't expect Lin Tian to have a solution at this moment. In an instant, Lin Rei turned around and grabbed Lin Tian's arms. What solution, little Tian? Tell me quickly. It's like this. That person's cultivation method is to devour souls. The purer the soul, the more that person desires it. So, we can. Lin Rei, who didn't have much hope, was filled with confidence after hearing Lin Tian's explanation. Besides, he believed that as long as this method worked, it would be a piece of cake to catch the person who wasn't allowed to cultivate the soul mantra. Okay. Let's do that. Lin Rei said and reminded Lin Tian, little Tian, go to the side later. I will lure that person out. During the entire process, you must not appear, okay? But before Lin Tian could say anything else, he was pushed out of the danger zone by a terrifying yet gentle force. Lin Tian felt helpless and powerless at the same time. He thought of rushing forward but gave up in the end because he knew that his cultivation wasn't enough. Even if he rushed forward, the result would be the same. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was standing in place, followed Lin Tian's method and released his pure soul energy, spreading it to a radius of 1,000 meters. Boom, boom, although it was soul energy, it was different for the soul of an immortal venerable. Immortal venerable was the best realm for cultivating one's soul. Therefore, the soul energy had reached a level that could make the entire immortal world tremble. The moment the soul energy was released, the male emperor, who was resting with his eyes closed, widened his eyes in shock. What's going on? Could it be that Brother Lei's soul energy is in trouble? The young man regarded Lin Rei's life as more important than his. Therefore, after this incident, he seemed to have forgotten that Lin Rei was an immortal venerable. Little brother, you can stay here and show your age. I'll be back soon. After saying that, the young man disappeared from the spot. He couldn't refuse Dong Tiancheng, who was still in a daze. On the other side of Sun Tian, a young man with a tyrannical aura appeared. His eyes were filled with passion as he looked at the location of the pure soul force. He had a slanderous look on his face as he constantly smacked his lips. Kakik, soul essence, soul essence. A voice that seemed to come from the depths of hell pierced through the air. Immediately, the young man dashed towards the location of the soul essence. His speed was so fast that no one could catch up to him. At this moment, Lin Rei was the happiest. Although he had released his soul energy, the seed demon was ready. As long as the person who cultivated the soul art appeared, he would definitely be killed in one strike. There was no way he could escape. Whoosh! Suddenly, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Lin Rei, who was ready to take action, immediately launched an attack towards the source of the strange movement. However, what made Lin Rei feel helpless was that when he launched his attack, he saw that the person who came was the male emperor who had stayed behind to look after his family. Twist. He knew how terrifying the seed demon was. Therefore, when the seed demon was about to enter the young man's body, he used twist. In an instant, the seed demon that was flying at high speed stopped and returned to Lin Rei's side. AI. Lin Rei didn't want to say anything about this matter. However, the young man felt very embarrassed. Just now, he had sensed the presence of danger. However, the danger disappeared in an instant. He knew that Lin Rei had a part to play in this. The male emperor who landed beside Lin Rei said to Lin Rei with an embarrassed expression, "I'm sorry, Brother Lei. I didn't know." "Alright, that's enough. Hurry up and go to Lin Tian." Before he could finish speaking, the feeling that made Lin Rei's heart palpitate appeared again. This time, Lin Rei was sure that he was ashamed of the person who cultivated the soul art. This feeling was still fresh in his memory, as if it had happened yesterday. Tendo Seed Demon. In an instant, the seed demon dashed out of his palm and flew toward a tree not far away after sensing the source of the palpitation. The seed demon's speed was extremely fast. It was so fast that Lin Rei felt ashamed of his own inferiority. At the same time, the seed demon was a shapeless thing. Even if he approached it, he wouldn't notice anything wrong. Chapter 474. Bang! A loud noise came from the front, but strangely, there was nothing unusual there. How could this be? Seeing this, Lin Rei's heart pounded. He knew that his seed demon had failed. Lin Rei had to be careful in this situation. He didn't know the strength of the other party. Although he knew that no one in the lower world could cultivate to the immortal venerable realm, it was inevitable that there would be some unusual existences, such as himself. Ha ha ha! Suddenly, another sound that made Lin Rei's heart tremble was heard. It was like the sound of an ancient corpse from the Nine Nether, which made people feel terrified. Immediately, Lin Rei waved his hand and slashed out a ray of sword chi in the direction of the sound. However, the same thing happened this time. The sword chi slashed at an ancient tree not far away. The ancient tree fell to the ground with a loud bang, causing the ground to tremble. The continuous bombardment was dodged by that thing. It was the first time that such a situation had happened. At the same time, Lin Rei felt very aggrieved. Damn it, at least show your face. You're making me lose face. Although he said that, he didn't dare to slack off for a moment. Because he knew that if he didn't pay attention, that person would have an opportunity to take advantage of. At that time, it was hard to say who would live and who would die. His body tensed up. With the sword chi in his left hand and the seed demon in his right hand, Lin Rei, who was fully prepared, released his spiritual strength again, increasing the temptation to the mysterious person. Boom! A vast amount of spiritual energy was released from his body, spreading out in all directions. For a moment, all of the living beings in the forest, upon sensing Lin Li's spiritual energy, were frozen to the spot. There was no power at all. Aside from being able to nourish their bodies, it also had a great effect on their cultivation. Whoosh! Suddenly, a sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Lin Rei, who had been observing all the strange phenomena around him, felt the movement behind him. Without hesitation, he slashed the sword chi that had been condensed in the air. The speed was so fast that it was unpredictable. Lin Rei believed that even a cultivator at the same level as him couldn't dodge it. Bang! Pfff! Lin Rei was overjoyed when he heard the strange sound. He turned around and looked at the person lying on the ground not far away. This person was wearing a black hat and didn't look very tall. He was dressed in black and gave off a cold aura that made people shudder. Ta! Ta! Step by step, Lin Rei walked towards the black-clothed man with vigilance. The vigilance in his eyes made Lin Tian and the young man extremely shocked. This kind of vigilant expression was something they had seen before. Even in the immortal world, other than entering some secret realms, there was no one else who could make the god in their hearts reveal such an expression. At this moment, the two of them were nervous. Their eyes were fixed on Lin Rei's actions. It would not be good for them to do anything. Did he faint? At this moment, Lin Rei came to the black-clothed man's side. He was shocked when he saw that the black-clothed man didn't have any aura. According to common sense, it was impossible for a person to not have any aura. Even he himself couldn't do it, let alone an ant who hadn't even reached the earthly immortal realm. Sigh, I don't care anymore. I'd better hurry up and plant the seed demon. Lin Rei couldn't figure it out. He gave up searching for the black-clothed man. Then, the seed demon that he had prepared earlier rushed towards the black-clothed man. However, something unexpected happened at this moment. Whoosh! Just as the seed demon was about to reach the black-clothed man, the man who had fainted suddenly changed his movement and fled towards the distance with great speed. It was so fast that Lin Rei was caught unprepared. Damn! No way. This is the second seed demon. If it doesn't work, then it's really over for us. 2 seconds after the black-clothed man fled, Lin Rei came to his senses. Then, he unleashed his immortal venerable cultivation and chased after the black-clothed man. Rumble, rumble, suddenly, the space started to shake as if it was about to collapse. Lin Rei, who was chasing after the black-clothed man, didn't slow down. Instead, he sped up and chased after the black-clothed man at full speed. Boy, are you crazy? This is not the immortal realm. Do you want this world to collapse by unleashing your full cultivation here? The sudden roar made Lin Rei even more anxious. Looking at the fleeing figure in front of him, Lin Rei thought about the little dragon's words. Lin Rei was in a dilemma for a moment. However, he was about to catch the black-clothed man. If he gave up now, he would miss the opportunity and it would be difficult to catch him in the future. He was struggling in his mind. On one hand, he should restrain his cultivation. On the other hand, he should chase after the black-clothed man. The two thoughts were in a fierce battle. In the end, the latter won. Okay, don't say any more. I know, but I can't give up. If I don't succeed this time, I will leave. This thing is here. It's a threat to the entire Tianxian continent. So, I will catch it. Whoosh! In an instant, Lin Rei's speed increased again. In the blink of an eye, he was running side by side with the black-clothed man. Humph, boy, I've suffered 3 losses at your hands. You should be proud. Let me play with you next. As he spoke, Linley, with a devilish smile on his face, suddenly turned around and lashed out with a whip kick at the black-clothed man. Bang! After a loud sound, the black-clothed man was sent flying in a parabola in the distance until he finally smashed into the ground. Perhaps it was because Lin Rei was unhappy, but he sent the black-clothed man flying 100 meters away. He fell to the ground and rolled for a few dozen meters before coming to a stop. Pooh! A mouthful of blood spurted from the black-clothed man's mouth. The hat that was originally on his head fell off at this moment, revealing the man's shocked face. It was a head that looked like a porcelain doll. His face was extremely delicate, like a work of art. His mouth was so small that it was mesmerizing. However, because he vomited blood, the boy's face was pale. At the same time, there were traces of blood at the corner of his mouth. His appearance was extremely distressing. When this scene appeared, Lin Rei suddenly felt that he was very bad. At the same time, what shocked Lin Rei was that the boy in front of him should not be more than 15 years old. Looking at his size, he should be around 11 or 12 years old. TSK, you must be joking. An 11 or 12-year-old boy actually has such powerful strength. If I didn't use the power of the celestial supremacy, I'm afraid, the more he thought about it, the more aggrieved Lin Rei felt. He never thought that he would be tormented by a child one day. Furthermore, this torment was not clear. What do you think? People who cultivate the soul mantra are extremely terrifying. Back in the beginning of the Eldritch Age, there was a person who cultivated the soul mantra. Back then, the Eldritch Age was extremely dark. Therefore, you should pray that this is a child. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to speak to me now. When the system's mocking voice entered Lin Rei's ears, Lin Rei was instantly stunned. However, he did not refute it. Following which, he took a few steps forward. In a few breaths, Lin Rei was already in front of the boy. Looking at him, Lin Rei's heart was filled with melancholy. That's enough. If only it was my son. At the very least, I wouldn't let him cultivate such a cruel mantra. Although this was what he thought, it was impossible. Following which, the seed demon that was prepared was instantly shot into the boy's body by Lin Rei. With a whoosh, an invisible sound broke through the air. It came quickly and left quickly. The sound disappeared in an instant. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. The seed demon has successfully entered the boy's body. The system's cold voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei's heart was filled with joy. Hee, I finally succeeded. Looking at the boy who was lying on the ground and had fainted from vomiting blood, Lin Rei hurriedly crouched down and carried him in his arms. Then, he walked towards Lin Tian. At the same time, seeing that the battle had naturally ended, Lin Tian and the male emperor instantly walked out and joined up with Lin Rei. Young master, give him to me. Lin Tian, who came to Lin Rei's side, hurriedly said to Lin Rei. At the same time, Lin Tian's hands had already held the boy in Lin Rei's arms. Looking at the little boy who was like a porcelain doll, Lin Tian and the male emperor didn't dare to make any moves. They had clearly seen the scene just now. There weren't many people who could withstand 3 moves from Lin Rei, and the little boy in front of them was indeed one of them. Although it was somewhat unreal, it had already happened. Let's go. Everything here is done. We should also leave. When we return to the immortal realm, I will send someone to send your family members to the sect. As for us, at this point, Lin Rei paused and glanced at the little boy in Lin Tian's arms. His originally hesitant expression instantly turned resolute as he said, I will transcend my tribulation in the Valley of Immortals in the endless mountain range. After saying that, Lin Rei walked forward. When Lin Tian, who was carrying the boy, heard his young master's words, he was momentarily stunned. He didn't expect his young master to bring such a little boy into the immortal realm. This made him unable to believe it. At the same time, he also knew that his strength was lacking. Although he thought this way, he still obeyed Lin Rei's orders. Lin Rei's orders were like his life. The 3 of them didn't speak along the way. Soon, under the lead of the boy, they arrived at the place where the boy's family members were. At this moment, Dongwon had already woken up. The moment he saw Lin Rei, Dongwon immediately stood up in excitement. When Lin Rei walked in, he instantly knelt on the ground and fiercely kowtowed to Lin Rei. The sound of his kowtowing was so loud that it made Lin Rei somewhat stunned. Bang, bang, bang. The sound resounded in this space. Suddenly, the loud sound pulled Lin Rei's attention back to reality. You can't, hurry up and get up. This is unacceptable. Chapter 475. Lin Rei, who had regained his senses, hurriedly stepped forward to help him up. His flustered look warmed the heart of the male emperor, who was beside him. No, you saved me. At the same time, you helped my son achieve what he is today. You are the benefactor of the Dong family. You are our benefactor. His eyes were filled with respect and he wanted to kowtow again. Lin Rei, who could not bear it, said sternly, if you do this again, I won't care anymore. My son is my brother. It's normal for me to help him. You are my son's father, which means you are my family. Therefore, there's no need to do these superficial things between family members. After saying that, a stream of pure immortal qi instantly appeared on Dong Wen's knees. Then, it lifted him up. When the male emperor saw this, he hurriedly went forward to help his father up. He also cast a grateful look at Lin Rei. All right, brother, hurry and help your father heal. I'm afraid we can't leave today. It won't be too late for us to leave tomorrow when your father's injuries are better. As he spoke, a bottle of pills appeared in Lin Rei's hand. He threw it to the male emperor and brought him to the side without saying anything. Seeing this, the male emperor did not disturb them. He took the pills and helped his father to the side to start healing. As for Dong Qing's family and the male emperor's mother, the four of them walked to the side and started a fire to prepare for dinner. All right, Xiao Tian, you must be tired. Give him to me and go rest. Lin Rei, who had come to the side, said to Lin Tian. He stretched out his hand to take the male emperor into his arms and placed him on the ground. Okay, got it. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Lin Tian did not resist. Instead, he obediently agreed and walked to the side to sit down. He closed his eyes and fell into a deep sleep. After everything was quiet, Lin Rei smiled and came to the male emperor's side. His finger, which was filled with immortal qi, touched the male emperor's neck. The unconscious male emperor woke up. Although the tyrannical aura on his body was still there, it was much better than before. He's awake? Lin Rei, who was sitting to the side, didn't say anything else after speaking to the child. Instead, he waited for the boy's reply. There was a moment of silence. It was so quiet that Lin Rei felt a little helpless. He had originally wanted the boy to respond, but now he was thinking too much. Tell me. Although the boy was already awake, he didn't seem to want to tell him half of the story. Finally, Lin Rei couldn't help but ask. What's your name? Where's your family? Why are you here? And why are you cultivating the soul art? After a series of questions were asked by Lin Rei, the room was still very quiet. After seeing that the boy's silence was golden, Lin Rei was very unhappy. Just as Lin Li was about to open his mouth and force him to do so, an extremely cold voice, one so cold that it was as though one had walked through 10,000 years of ice, spoke out. Kill the heavens. Kill the heavens? After hearing the boy say his name, Lin Rei repeated it and was shocked. This name was too awesome. Kill the heavens, there was actually someone in this world with such a name. I don't have parents, so I'm an orphan. As for the reason why I'm here, I don't know. Since I can remember, I've been fighting with the monsters here. As for the soul art you mentioned, I don't know. But I think you should be talking about the energy in my body. The cold voice sounded again. The information in his words made Lin Rei sympathize with him. He didn't know that this child had such an experience. That's right. Where did the energy in your body come from? From what I know, this energy shouldn't appear here. In the end, Lin Rei was most interested in the soul art energy in the boy's body. I don't know. This energy was unintentionally used by me. It can make me stronger, so, speaking until here, Kill the Heavens didn't continue because Lin Rei already knew what he was going to say. Oh. Is that so? Hearing Kill the Heavens answer, Lin Rei was very disappointed. He originally thought that he would be able to find the soul art, but he didn't expect it to be an eggshell without the heart. However, it was still okay. At least he had subdued someone who had made him fail several times. This could be considered an unexpected gain. I understand. You will follow me from now on. Also, don't use your energy casually, especially to your own people. Hearing this, Kill the Heavens' eyes were slightly stunned. He then replied without hesitation, Okay, I understand. If there's nothing else, I'll go to sleep first. After saying that, Shatian went to the side and instantly fell into a deep sleep. Lin Li's heart ached when he saw this. Looking at how a 12-year-old child was able to live in the forest, Lin Li knew that Shatian must have gone through a lot of hardships. Lin Rei didn't say anything and chose to rest. Lin Rei and the other two fell into a deep sleep. Although this was the forest, Lin Rei didn't think that any demonic beasts would dare to approach this place unless they didn't want their lives. As for the boy, he didn't sleep either. Because he knew that he would be leaving tomorrow, he didn't stop healing his father. The sun set and a bright moon hung high in the sky. The moonlight shone on the forest, making it seem like the forest was covered in white clothes. It was very mysterious and noble. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, it was the morning of the second day. The sun gradually rose into the sky and shone on everyone's faces. At this moment, Lin Rei had already woken up. Looking at the morning sky, Lin Rei felt very relaxed. He stood up and lowered his head to look at Lin Tian and kill the heavens. Lin Rei didn't hurry to call them. Instead, he left alone and walked towards the depths of the forest. On the other side, the boy was sitting at the side and recovering. As for Dongwen, he was probably a little tired after a night of recovery. At this moment, Dongwen had already fallen into a deep sleep. Not long after, Linli returned. He was carrying a huge demonic beast on his shoulder, looking extremely miserable. How much had this poor demonic beast suffered in its lifetime to end up like this? With a loud bang, everyone who was sleeping in their dreams woke up at this moment. Who is it? Can't you let me sleep? An impatient voice rang out. Instantly, everyone's gaze turned towards the voice, including Linli's. When he saw the younger brother, Dong Tiancheng, Lin Rei's eyes showed a trace of killing intent. This wasn't the first time he heard such words. However, for the sake of his younger brother, Lin Rei didn't make a move. As for Lin Tian, when he wanted to kill Dong Tiancheng, he was stopped by Lin Rei. Forget it. A great person won't hold a grudge against a petty person. Moreover, he's the younger brother of my younger brother. After saying that, Lin Tian, who had already stood up, sat back down. However, he couldn't control the killing intent on his body and it was rolling towards Dong Tiancheng. Lin Rei didn't care about this. As long as he didn't kill, he wouldn't interfere. Then, Lin Rei, who didn't care about anyone else, went to the side. A blood-red flame appeared instantly. The temperature of the surrounding space increased the moment the flame appeared. In the end, the surrounding air was almost burning. In an instant, the flame reached the body of the giant demonic beast and began to burn quietly. As time passed, the demonic beast that was originally filled with blood slowly emitted a fragrant smell. When the surrounding people smelled it, they couldn't help but salivate. Their throats squirmed as they swallowed their saliva. In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. Originally, there was only the fragrance from time to time, but at this moment, it was still very fragrant. The flame in Lin Rei's hand was also retracted. Little Tian, Sha Tian, quickly come and eat. After we finish eating, let's leave quickly. After waving his hand to Lin Tian and Dong Tiancheng, who had been gossiping for a long time, he tore off a piece of fat meat and stuffed it into his mouth without caring about the influence of the immortal prime. The meat of a demonic beast was not like that of an ordinary beast. Every piece of meat in its body carried traces of spiritual qi. Similarly, demonic beasts paid the most attention to their physical bodies. Therefore, although the meat of demonic beasts was slightly hard, it didn't feel greasy at all and it tasted very delicious. Awu, n. A strange sound was heard. Immediately, Lin Rei hurriedly looked over. At this moment, Lin Rei was no longer concerned about eating. Instead, Sha Tian had entered the demonic beast's stomach and began to gnaw from the inside out. He looked very cute. However, Lin Rei's eyes were red and he began to eat quickly. When Lin Tian saw this scene, he was very happy. He revealed a happy smile and prayed in his heart. I hope this can last forever. Young master can be happy forever. As for Dong Tiancheng and the others, because of their previous words and actions, they didn't dare to get close to Lin Rei. As for Dong Tiancheng, he was still recovering his spiritual qi. Time passed by slowly. In the blink of an eye, more than half an hour had passed. Originally, there were 5 demonic beasts, but under the joint attack of Lin Rei and Sha Tian, they were nearing the end. Brat, this is mine. It's much harder for you to eat it. Lin Rei complained. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that at this moment, everyone's eyes were on the two of them. Humph, who said that? I'm the one who grabbed it. Moreover, how old are you? I'm only 11 years old. Haven't you heard of the saying the big one should let the small one live until old? A stubborn voice that didn't give Lin Rei any face sounded. The voice was filled with coldness. Humph, this is my territory and I'm the boss. Therefore, this thing is mine. At this moment, Lin Rei and Sha Tian were fighting over a big bone with meat in their hands. They looked like they were going to teach them a lesson if they didn't let them have it. The scene was very funny. Humph, no, this is mine. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.